Alrighty. Howdy, 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 howdy. It is the Sabbath, and we are back again on the Sabbath. And on the Sabbath, on this channel, you can watch an undereducated hick from Alabama perform an intellectual takedown of the Christian faith, doctrine, and logic for your entertainment. But also, hopefully, to make the world a better place, so we can get rid of this brain rot of a religion and combat the rise of this ridiculous Christian nationalism, because it's fucking ridiculous. And nobody likes it but the Christian nationalists. And everybody else knows that they're a plague on humanity. So this is why we're here, to put some ideas out there about such things, and to hopefully talk some sense into some otherwise intelligent folks. So that's why we're here. Also, mark your calendars for April 25th, in which our best friend of the channel here, Dr. Joshua Bowen, is having a free webinar that you can sign up for about learning ancient Hebrew. Now, I know it seems crazy to try to learn an ancient language, but it's actually really easy. Even I can do it. I mean, it's not that bad, right? But anyway, he's doing a free hour-long webinar on April 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can register for that at digitalhammurabi.com/Hebrew. Check it out. It's totally free. If you don't feel it or you don't understand it, then no obligation. Got to hang out with Dr. Josh and his lovely wife Megan for an hour. And if you think, good Lord, that was easy, then you can sign up for it. And it's got like a 12-week course. You can learn ancient Hebrew and know for yourself exactly what this stuff is saying. Also mark on your calendar, October 2026, April again. October 24th, 25th, and 26th in Huntsville, Alabama. The Rocket City Reason Conference is going down. You can come hang out with us if you want, because there's going to be the biggest and most famous names in TikTok and YouTube debaters in the deconstruction community. And you can come and meet them yourself. Of course, our friend the Godless Engineer and his lovely wife KC is putting on the conference, whatever you want to call it. And man, it's going to be crazy. Justin DZ is going to be there. Thinker's going to be there. Forrest Balkai, Gutsick Gibbon, Seth Andrews is a keynote speaker. Volsey's going to be there. Black Atheist Rants. The Ape, of course, is going to be there. Dugald's going to be there. It's going to be wild as shit. You can't miss it. But if you want to come hang out, you think you can plan it, you can get your tickets for that at rocketcityreason.com. And come hang out with us. It'll be a whole lot of fun. And with that said, I reckon that'll be the pleasantries out of the way for the day here, if I'm not mistaken. Cool hoodie. Oh, cool hoodie. Oh, hell yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've never had an article of clothing that I've gotten so many compliments on. We went to Disneyland one time and I wore it. I couldn't make it 5 steps without somebody like, ooh, that's an awesome Akatsuki hoodie, man. Pretty awesome. I'm sorry, but the only lie is what is written on your background. What's a lie? I don't see any lies. Jesus is no Messiah, and God seems really horrible. What's a lie about that? You can come up and tell us if you want. Anyway, that's all the pleasantries out of the way this morning. We are 4 minutes into the show, and as usual, we are looking for debates. Oh, Sarah's coming too. Shit, yeah. BHI is a black Hebrew Israelite. And in case anyone didn't know, a black Hebrew is also referred to as a Hebrew. Ha ha ha. Hilarious. Ah. The Hebrews will come out to play today. We hadn't talked to a black Hebrew Israelite in like 2 weeks now. I hadn't seen one. We used to get one pretty often, it seemed like. Good morning. What's up? Hello, everyone. Long doctor. What's going on? Okay. Alrighty. Well, maybe we got a first guest of the day here. Hey, Josh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You hear me okay?
What's up? Yeah, yeah. Are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 36.
Cool, man. Are you one of the Christians?
Yeah, I'm actually a Catholic. So I see you have two
Oh,
claims here. You said Jesus is no Messiah and God seems really horrible. So I think we can probably just like hold off on whether or not Jesus was the Messiah to first like determine whether or not God is horrible. That seems like a moral claim. What establishes your moral objection here? Like, what's your moral framework here?
uh, justice, morality, stuff like that. What do you mean?
Well, it seems to be the case that you're making a claim that God is bad, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that would
like
be a
just for
moral
example,
claim.
like
So what
since it's the
establishes what's good and bad?
like harm reduction, well being, stuff like
Harm
that.
reduction? Okay,
Yeah.
so let me ask you this. If it is the case that harm reduction is the determining factor in whether or not something
What's
is
part
good
of
or
it?
bad, well, okay, well, I'm asking what the necessary qualifier here is for you determining whether or not something is good or bad, i.e., your moral framework.
I just like have opinions and stuff. Not to mention, if
Okay,
you want to
what
use the
makes
good
your
and bad
opinions
model,
good or
we can
bad?
just my opinion.
Okay, so like there
So
is no
can we
such
get to
thing as
God
good or
being
bad.
Can we get to? Are we going to get to God actually being
We
horrible
are
or
we are
not? Or
actually talking about your claim about God because
yeah, I'm trying to get to
you have no
some
objective
horrible stuff.
standard.
Like,
Hold on, apostate. You have no objective
yeah,
standard on being able to establish what good or bad is here, other than your opinion.
yeah, never, yeah, never said I did. I said it
Okay,
was my
so
opinion.
it's not grounded in anything. So I don't understand how you can make a
Well, it's
claim of good
grounded
or
in harm
bad.
reduction. Like I gave you actual standards, so I
Okay,
don't
so
understand.
is grape good or bad?
It's horrible.
Why?
That's why because God allows it
No, God doesn't necessarily allow grape. In fact, He actively like
necessarily.
tells people that don't do that. Not everything in the Bible is
He actively
prescriptive.
tells them to do that.
Oh, where? Where does God tell people to
In
grape people?
Isaiah
Wait, hold
13 is
on.
one of
Actually,
them.
before you answer that, you haven't told me why grape is bad.
I have to explain to you why raping
Yes,
is
because
bad.
you don't have a reason for why grape would be bad.
Excuse me, sir. If we can't even agree rape is bad, then what are you
Well,
even
no, you
doing here?
can't tell me why grape is bad. It's just your
Well, I
opinion,
can
man.
because
But a
it
grapist could
violates
say
somebody's
that.
bodily autonomy. It causes immense
Wait, why is
psychological
bodily
harm. It causes
autonomy?
physical harm.
Why is
Like,
bodily autonomy relevant here?
so this is really, really strange. Why are you
I
asking me
understand
why
it's really
rape is
strange.
bad?
I'm not saying that grape is bad. I'm asking why you would say that grape is bad.
Well, I know you don't think it's bad, but it's just my opinion. It's
No,
really,
I
really
never
bad
said that I
because it
don't think
causes
it's
harm.
bad. I don't know why you're presupposing
Oh,
this. The problem is that you
well,
can't
it's
tell
just
me
the way
why
you're
it's bad.
asking me why it's bad. Like
Yes,
I
why do
just
you
told you
think
why
grape
it's
is
bad.
bad?
It calls it, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
Don't crash out. Just tell me why it's bad.
I'm not here to explain to idiots why rape is bad. Are we going to get to talking
No, you're
about
here
your
to tell me
God or
why it would
not?
be bad because you have no
I already
grounding on
said
what is
three
bad.
times it causes. I already said three times it causes immense physical and emotional harm. It violates bodily autonomy. Is
You don't
that not enough
necessarily
for
know
you?
that though. How does it cause okay,
Man,
so if
get the
you're
fuck out of here. You are a
apostate,
lying
if
piece
you
of
do
shit.
this to
If this
somebody
is
that's
the
unconscious,
argument you're
how are
going
you
to make
causing them
up
harm?
here,
How are you causing them
what the
harm if they're
fuck are
unconscious,
you
bro?
talking? Look,
How are you causing them harm if they're
are we going to
unconscious?
get to shut the fuck up? Are we going to get to
Are
God or
you
not?
oh,
Because
that's so
I'm done
cute.
explaining. Listen, I'm not
You
here to
haven't
explain
explained
to Christians
anything.
why
What are you talking
rape is
about?
bad. Like, what the
You
fuck are you
haven't
talking about?
explained
I
why
did
it
explain
is.
it.
So you okay.
Okay, just drop. Look, I'm
Apostate.
done. Just
Yeah,
drop
I'm sure.
yourself.
Yeah,
Just
you got
drop
cooked, bro.
yourself.
You're cooked.
Just drop
You're
yourself.
cooked.
Yeah, I'm so cooked
You are cooked
because
because
I
you have
told you
no
why.
reason to say why grape is bad. You have no
I
establishment of
just told you
objective
three
morality.
times,
You're
and
a
you
complete
keep saying the
subjectivist.
same
You
thing
can't
over and
say
over again. So
objectively
this
that
is
grape is
all
bad.
right. My goodness, they are something special, aren't they? Well, let's move on to someone that's not here to argue why rape is good. Anyways,
Hey,
let's see.
I'm not.
Where
I just wanted to step up real quick because of that last guest, and just kind of say when they get into that whole stupid ass morality bullshit,
Oh
go
yeah.
with. You need to bring up the fact that their morality is based on God and what He claims is positive and
Well, I
good, and
tried to
that's
get there, and he
subjective as
refused to
well.
do it. That's what they do. They're too cowardly to actually talk about God, so they just attack the underlying whatever
Yeah,
justification is, and then when you actually explain that to them, they have no idea what you're talking about because they don't have any actual standards. But
they're too damn stupid to realize that their morality is subjective as well because it's based on the mind of their God they believe in.
oh yeah, I know. You can't
So,
never get there though. They just scream until you drop them, and then they say you got cooked.
and
So
then that guy just flat out went into grape apologist territory, which is
yeah,
the
it's
absolute worst of
absolutely
the worst.
disgusting. You have to sit here and argue why grape is bad with a Christian. It's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah. But you have a good day. I'll sit down here and just listen some more. Hopefully, you have find some decent ones to talk to.
Yeah, we'll do what we can. Thanks for coming up. There's a bunch of people. Oh, there's Casey. This is the welcome in, Casey.
Hey, friend.
What's up?
Oh my God, that guy. As soon as that guy was like, well, you're not harming them or violating them if they're unconscious, I was like, request up. What the fuck is that? Somebody needs to check on women. Nobody needs to be around that person. No women need to be around him ever.
Yeah, it's amazing that
What?
they think it's some kind of win to come up here and argue why rape is bad. Like,
Well,
especially when you
I
get told why it's bad and then proceed to say the same shit over and over again.
yeah, I also think it's interesting that they really need to be told why violating someone else's body is not okay. Like, but then they pretend that they're on some sort of, like, I don't know, higher level of decency because they think that their morals are objective when their morals are subjective as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can't never get there though because they refuse to. That's the whole point of arguments like that is to avoid the actual argument, so you're not
Hmm.
getting there. Like it's not going to happen. You heard how many times I said, "Are we just going to get to God or not?" Like I
Yeah,
told
I
him.
know. He
He
wasn't
said, "Where's
interested
that
in
at?" I
that.
said, "Isaiah 13."
Yeah, he
Whoa! Before
wasn't.
you get to that.
Yeah, he wasn't interested in that, and then he thinks that he won. Bless him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
their cute little tactics they use, I guess. New guest Lily. Does that say Lily? Are you there?
Hi, yeah, I just joined up when that one guy was talking about grape. I was gonna say something, but
No worries, no worries. Yeah, that kind of shit's hard to listen to, isn't it?
yeah, it's just really stupid because like even God himself, if we're going off the Bible, says treat everybody like your neighbor. Doesn't matter who it is, not raping them goes into that. So, like, if Christians really want to talk about Christianity, why don't you follow what the fuck your book of lies is telling you?
Well, it's kind of dangerous to do that. That's why they know they're going to lose that argument, so they just attack your underlying morality and think they win.
The
But
Bible
anyway,
doesn't.
thanks.
But the Bible doesn't say
Sorry.
that. The Bible
Oh,
doesn't say treat everyone no matter who they are like your name. That's not what the Bible says.
yeah, I agree. She was. I don't think she was a Christian though, so I didn't bother.
No, I
bother
don't think
pressing
she
that one
was.
too hard.
I just didn't want to let that slide for the audience. Like the Bible doesn't say that.
Right. All right, let's see here. No, it doesn't say that. As a matter of fact, it says your neighbors that live close to you, make sure to wipe out every breathing thing. And
Well,
if they're
and
far
also,
away, then you can like enslave them and stuff.
well, yeah, and also the stuff about the stuff in the Bible that's about treating your neighbors good. That's about like fellow Israelites. That's not about anybody else. It does matter who they are. Like, because
Absolutely.
you're not allowed to take chattel slaves of your fellow Israelites. You're allowed to debt slave them, but so that the context matters, right? Context.
I like how I say it's my opinion, and they're like, "Yeah, it's just your opinion." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I just fucking said." That's the greatest thing. I'll say it all the time. I don't care. Jacob, are you there?
I'm here, brother. You all right?
What's up? What's up, man? Are you over
What's
18?
happening? Yeah, I'm 39, brother.
Cool, man. Are you one of the Christians?
I'm one of them Christians there. Looks like I'm up for a bash in here, so let's go.
I mean, you might bash us. Who knows?
We'll see.
So,
Seems like you're more organized than me. I'm just one man, but let's go.
I'm just one man too, but I have a woman also here with me. So
Yeah.
yeah. Ooh, I don't know what that was, but thank you. I appreciate that. So this God seems really horrible. Would you disagree with that?
He's not. He's a God of love. That's his name.
Well,
The God of love.
like today, I like to use the example that he's horrible since it's a Sabbath. Like one time in the Bible, like some folks catch this guy picking up a stick, and they're like, well, we got to take him into custody. So they do, and then they ask God, like, what do we do to this guy? He picked up a stick, and God's like, you got to kill him. So they do. That sounds pretty horrible, right?
Why is that so?
Why is what?
Everybody is a child of God, right? Of God's creation. So as a father, he has the right to discipline his children if they go astray, which is what he's
Well,
doing.
that wasn't disciplining. That was murder, though. Murdering someone isn't disciplining them.
You were breaking up when you were making your point. Sorry, what did you say originally?
I was saying that he murdered them. It wasn't discipline. It was murder. They killed him. It wasn't disciplined. It was murder. And I say murder because you can't justify unaliving somebody because he picked up a stick. That's crazy. Can you? He's of course gone.
Oh, he went bye-bye. Maybe he had a bad connection.
He might have. Let's see here. Maybe Brett's still here. Brett, are you there?
Yep.
What's up, man? You're over 18 and you're a Christian?
Yeah. Yes to both.
Cool, man. So, we was talking about God being horrible. Do you disagree with that?
Yeah. I just I got a question though. So you were a former Christian, right?
Yeah.
So you at one time thought God was good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, before I read the Bible.
Okay, so you were just kind of Christian based on kind of what you were commanded?
I was raised that way.
Would
I
you,
just grew
what
up
would you
believing
say
it
your,
was true.
yeah, would you say like your heart was actually in it?
Yeah.
It was, okay. I just got a couple more questions then.
Are we talking about the
like your
topic or is this like an interview?
Well, we'll get into the topic. I want to try to understand you a little bit better before I do.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you say your heart was in it, all that cool jazz. What's like the purpose of you doing this content? Like, are you trying to be convinced or what?
Like, no. I think Christianity is dangerous, so I'm trying to talk people out of it.
Okay, so it's like, can I give you an analogy then? Like, for instance, I've experienced
an analogy for what?
Right? Well, how I see this then, it seems like you have more of an axe to grind.
This isn't like a assess somebody's personality fucking kind of stream. Keep on topic. Let's talk about the Bible.
To be up here, you can, if you don't want to talk, you can just go on. Like, I'm not gaslighting people. You requested to be here.
Right. Well, I totally understand that. Thank you for having me up. But I guess I'm just trying to bring, I guess for your audience, I'm sure you got Christians waiting to come in. I'm just trying to demonstrate it's kind of pointless because I don't think you necessarily want convinced, as you just stated. But the thing is, it's almost like...
I just said I didn't do this to be convinced. I said to do it. I'm doing it to bring awareness.
Right. But the thing is like, in order for us to be made aware, I'd have to believe what you're saying is true. The thing is you have a hard heart, apparently. So how do I know that you have what is true?
You don't know anything about the condition of his heart. You're not a doctor. Are you his doctor? Are you his heart doctor?
Well, just demonstrated how he rejects it, right?
Dude, a hard heart isn't fucking real.
But he once had a heart for it.
Now, this is
hang on.
wait, Brett. This is Godless Engineer here.
Godless.
Hey, we're so Ape and KC here. We're all just literate. Like we can just read. Like it. Do you have a Bible?
Can you read Hebrews 6 verses 4 to 6 for me?
No, I don't care about reading your Bible verse. Can you read my Bible verse?
You can't read all this.
I already know we know what it says.
Could you read it for me, please?
It's talking about falling away. What about it?
And how it's impossible?
No, it says it's impossible to be brought back to repentance if you fall away, is what it says. Maybe you should read it.
So cool. So check this out. Again, you have fallen away, right?
Yeah.
It's impossible for you to be brought back. Essentially, the way I look at this is you're in the penalty box and you're trying to bring others with you.
So
Right.
Brett, hold on. I want to show you. I want to
Hang on.
I want to give you a demonstration. Hold on, Brett. Brett, hold on. I want to give you a demonstration as to why. Yeah, I want to help you
Can I
out.
make my point?
I'm trying to help you out.
I don't think you're going to help me.
Yeah, I am. So, like, if you turn in your Bible to 1 Samuel 15, 1 through 3.
The Amalekites, right. What about it?
Well, it talks about how you should
horrible.
unalive women, children, and
Yep.
babies.
Yep.
And so, like, yeah, that would be the reason why I think your God's horrible and why I won't come back. So, I mean, I feel like I'm helping you out in that situation, right?
Can I ask you, what all do you know about that?
Yeah, 400 years prior, they did something shitty to the Israelites, and God took his sweet time in order to
they
come
lost
back
the
and
war.
like unalive people.
Yep.
So, what context to you would it be okay to unalive a baby?
So let's stay on this Amalekite thing. You want to stay on that? Let's do it. So
Okay.
what's happening there? It's war, right?
Well, no, it's actually not war.
That wasn't a result of war?
No,
It
so
was a result of
Really?
them losing a war. They
right,
lost the
it
war.
was
Wow.
400
So
years
hold on.
prior. No, 400 years
1 Samuel
prior, there was a
15
conflict.
Isn't about war?
There was a conflict 400
Samuel
years
15
prior.
isn't about war?
They were just minding their own
You
business.
sure you read the text?
Yes.
You sure?
Why is your voice getting so high? You
First-
don't need to do that.
First Samuel
Yeah,
15
Brad.
ain't about war?
No. I mean, it's about them doing war, but it's about them doing war
Oh,
against
okay.
people that were
Okay,
not.
so that's cool. So hold
No,
on.
no,
First Samuel
It
15
was-
is
hold
a
on,
result
Brett,
of war,
Brett,
right?
Damn it.
Brett, why don't
A
you just
result
calm
of
the
war.
fuck down? Brett, look,
You
we're
can't
just
stay
trying
on
to
it,
have a
can ya?
conversation. You're over there trying to fucking score points. Just calm your
I like-
ass down.
This isn't about scoring points. It's
No,
you're
so-
not
so
staying
Brett,
on point.
No, Brett.
just
Okay,
a
so the
question.
Amalekites
It's
were
First
just
Sam-
minding their own
it's First
business.
Samuel 15 about war.
It was no. So the Amalekites, they were just minding their own business, and then God's like, "Hey, why don't you go and like unalive their women, children, and babies?"
Right,
So-
so it's about war.
Right. God made it
It's
about
not.
war.
There's a war, and they're not.
There's not a war. It's just a
Please
genocide.
don't lie. Don't do it. It's First
It's
Samuel
a-
15. What's the result of? It's a result of war, correct?
No,
That's the
Now,
result
as we
of a loss
see-
of a war
I'll teach you-
400
I'll
years
teach you guys
prior.
here. Hold on, let me teach you. Let me teach you something. So Saul is denounced for not killing Agag, the king, right? The Amalekite king.
Yeah, the one person they let live. Yeah.
Do you know why? Do
Why? What?
you know why that's a thing?
Yeah, because
Oh,
God
yeah,
told him to unalive
Because he
every single
disobeyed
person.
God.
Right.
Yeah,
And
God
why
was
was it a bad thing? Why was it a bad thing that he didn't do it?
Here's my question.
Because
Here's my question.
No.
What? No.
Answer mine. Answer
No,
mine.
here's my question. Why
Answer
was
mine.
it a bad thing to
I'll
not,
answer
to
if you
not
answer mine.
unalive the king, but it was an okay and good thing to unalive the babies?
Who said it was? You realize Saul gets denounced for not killing the king, right?
Right. And my question
Yeah.
is, why is
You
that
just-
the
hold on,
offense
don't say right.
rather
You
than
just
the
told me
offense
something
being unaliving a baby?
So answer my question. Why was it a bad thing that Saul didn't do that?
Because God told him to kill everybody, and when God says kill everybody, that means every breathing thing.
And when he doesn't do it, why is that bad?
Because God told him to kill everybody, and he meant everybody.
Okay, so have you read the book of Esther?
Let's stick with 1 Samuel 15.
No. I'm gonna make a
Brett,
point here.
I'm not interested in your
You guys
point.
have read
I have
the
a
text.
question.
You guys have read the text.
Is there any? So they're talking about this thing where
Don't
God
run from
told.
it. Don't
Listen
run
to me,
from it.
Brett. Brett, are you
Don't
going to
do
make
it.
us mute you?
Don't do it.
Are you going to
can
make
mute me,
us
that's
mute
fine.
you? Okay.
Go ahead.
So listen, you brought up war.
Like you are?
I'm KC. I don't know who the fuck you are.
You're not listening to me. I asked you a question.
Because I don't care about you,
ignored it.
Brett. I don't give a fuck what you say.
Well, I know you don't, because there's no love like atheists hate, right?
I love how you turn that around. That's hilarious. When it's y'all who spread the hate. So you're the one over here
hate
saying
atheists is the hate for this God that orders genocide.
You just told me you hated me, so that's cool.
no, I didn't say that. I said I don't care about you. So
Wow.
it's
Equivalent.
interesting because they're talking about God commanding killing all the men, women, and babies in this place, and you bring up, well,
If you'd
isn't
answer
it?
my question, we get to
You
that.
bring up, isn't it war? Is that okay? Do you think it's okay to do that in war?
Could you
Is that
tell
an
me, in
okay
the Book of
context
Esther,
to
have you
kill
read it?
children? Do you think it's okay to kill children even in the context of war?
Unalive.
Unalive.
We're
I'm
gonna
so
get-
sorry. I apologize.
I will absolutely make my point if you can answer my question. Have you read the Book of Esther?
Yes.
What's it got to do with 1 Samuel?
Well, if you've read the Book of Esther, who's the one that wants to kill or unalive all the Jews in Persia? Do you know the name?
What's that got to do with 1 Samuel?
You're
You will
whataboutism.
see.
You're doing
You will
whataboutisms.
You will see.
Make the point.
Just answer my
or
question.
Get back to a
Okay.
point. We're not deviating
Book of
to
Esther-
the Book of Esther.
The king Agag in 1 Samuel, correct, is the one that's not killed. The Book of Esther, you have an Agagite who seeks to unalive all the Jews in the Book of Esther. So the result of not killing Agag produced a cult, if you will, of anti-Jew, who later in the Book of Esther seeks to kill all Jews. There's the point.
I don't understand your point.
hang on.
Your point's not
When it comes
It's
to
relevant.
war,
unbelievable
let me-
that you think that's
No.
some kind of win.
Yeah, well, this is really easy stuff.
Yeah, it's really bad
so-
when you don't kill
Now,
every
here's the
breathing
thing.
fucking thing like
Here's
God
the
done
thing.
told you to.
Here's the thing. What happens
Yeah.
in war if you don't, you have three options, right?
Mhm.
You either unalive everyone, so that way they don't retaliate later.
Genocide.
You enslave, right? Or you let
Violation
them
of
go.
bodily
And-
autonomy.
And you let them re-establish themselves so they can then fight you again. There's three options.
But why was any of that necessary?
Evil at heart.
Oh, because you're God's dick. Why? That's literally why.
Yeah. So
Yeah, have you,
You say-
ever
you
heard
say-
of Osher
you say-
Bonaparte, Brett?
yeah, you brought up genocide. Can you
Yeah.
tell me
Yeah,
what
have you ever
genocide
heard
is?
of, hold on a second, have you ever heard of Osher Bonaparte?
No clue what that is.
Osher Bonaparte was a king of Assyria. And in the
Okay.
royal inscriptions of Assyria, they found a bunch of passages where he justified the genocide of other nations because they were sinning against his god, Osher. Said they had pregnant women ripped open because they sinned against Osher, right?
Sure, I guess that's what you're telling me.
Well, this is the same thing. This is Yahweh having pregnant women ripped open
Okay.
because they sinned against Yahweh.
Mhm.
So which
Okay.
God's right?
The one that can't be defeated.
Well, God can be defeated. He is at least twice
How?
in the Bible. So
He can
Yeah.
be defeated by
one
iron.
time, one time they had
Who-
chariots of iron, so they defeated him. And another time, a king sacrificed his son in the midst of battle, and then they destroyed the Israelites after that.
Yeah, so you're talking about people that are defeated. You're not talking about a God that's defeated.
No,
Right.
God couldn't beat iron. It says the Lord attacked them, and he was driven back because they had chariots of iron.
Right. So God's creator, and your premise that God can be defeated would assume that creation can be creator.
whatever God's the strongest one is the one you can't sin against.
Say what? I'm sorry. Say it again.
So whatever God's the strongest God is the one you can't sin against.
Well, the one that you can't defeat would obviously be the one that's true, right? Like, look at Egypt.
No.
When
not
God
true.
makes a mockery of the Egyptian gods, right?
Hey, Brett, can I ask you a question real quick? If God told you to stab a baby in the face, would you do it?
You do like referencing Abraham?
No.
Could you answer the
Any
question?
any deity. If a deity, we won't even did that. Would you do that?
Can you give me some context to this? Are we talking like Abraham or like a result of war?
No, like 1 Samuel 15, like we've been talking about. Like God.
Okay, so the nuance is in context of war.
Right.
Is there any
just
context?
answer the question. What difference does it make?
You need context to answer that question?
Right.
You're a terrible person.
Well,
You're a terrible person. If you need context to answer that question,
Right,
there's something wrong with
right.
you.
Right, but terrible according to just you, right?
No, I'm pretty sure most people on this planet would say it is not okay to unalive children because a God that you believe in said to do so.
I'm not gonna, I don't want to get too political on this, but so you're against abortion then, right?
No, abortion is not killing
You're not.
children.
Answer the question, and then you can bring up abortion. Answer, Brett.
So you're
answer
for
the question,
ending life,
and then you can try to talk about abortion. Brett, answer the question. What context would you unalive a baby in if you were ordered by God?
Yeah, if I was in war, let's say I knew the future, and if like for instance, would you unalive Hitler as a baby?
No.
You wouldn't.
No.
So you would still let Hitler continue to live.
How would you possibly
Are those the only two?
You're stabbing a baby is all you know.
Are those the only two options? You unalive him as a baby or let him do everything he... Those are the only two options to you?
Let me use your logic.
You're so weird.
Hold on. Let's use your logic. Let's just unalive them all in the womb.
That's not our logic.
That's not my logic, and that's not what I would choose.
Brett,
I don't know what's wrong with you.
Just when I think you can't possibly look any worse, like you just take it to another level. It's unreal. But.
So you aren't against abortion, or you are against abortion?
No.
So when I say let's just unalive them in the womb, what's the difference?
What does pro-choice mean to you?
It means you're just down for unaliving people in the womb.
No, that's not what that means. That pro-choice means that you allow the person to choose.
I love this. I love when he pulls this up.
Hey, which one of them is the baby we're slaughtering, Brett? Hey, which one of these is the baby getting slaughtered?
I don't know. I can't see your photo. It keeps cutting it there. Every one of them. How about that?
Every one of them is a baby
a
human.
salamander and a tortoise. Is a baby getting murdered in the womb?
Sure, why not?
Thanks.
If that's the game you want to play. But we both.
It's not a game. It's a question to see if you can identify.
I can't take that serious. You know that, right?
We don't take you seriously either.
Hang on.
That's exactly why nobody's taking you serious. Except I am taking you serious because I know how dangerous you are. In fact, you're the type of person
when did your life cycle
that
begin?
I started this channel for to expose because you would stab a fucking baby in the face and you just admitted it.
See, my point
in front of
my point earlier was to demonstrate that you're a kid that got kicked out of the game on the sideline. And now you're trying to pull everyone with you. The problem
I didn't get kicked out of the game. I saw this game was corrupt and removed myself. Unlike you,
so you gave up
are a proud proclaimer of stabbing babies in the face.
Right. So
we chose,
buddy. You really cooked us atheists out here.
We chose not to be a part of a system that we saw is a serious problem and harms people. Like we chose to not be part of that.
That's right. Hey, the disciple, are you there?
You're going home, right?
Excuse me, sir. I'll send you an invite when I want you to mute there. The disciple, are you there, sir?
Sorry, I thought I was on mute.
Yeah, my bad. Disciple.
Oh no, Brett's gone. That's so sad.
Shut the fuck up. Y'all know what time it is. It's New Gold.
Hey guys.
Hey buddy.
I was totally going to have you ask me the question and show him how easy it was to answer. No, I would not kill a baby.
Stabbing baby.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure there's not some sort of context in which that would be totally appropriate?
Not that I can think of.
Dougal, you didn't even think about that first.
You can't see my face right now, but this is my surprise face at the fact that you won't commit a war crime. Oh no. I can't believe this.
Is it really, Dougal?
So shocking. Oh my God.
Damn.
That was weird. Oh, Dr. Bowen's in the house.
Oh shit. Oh, Disciple,
Trey's back.
Disciple,
Trey?
we're trying to bring you up. I don't know if you got
Yo.
Oh, there he is.
Oh. Hey,
Yeah, so to answer your question, I would say no, because that's something that God wouldn't do. So the reason why you guys are saying, oh, would you murder babies, yada yada, because you're not understanding that that text is hyperbolic, not literal of what God's saying for them to do.
It's
what was
definitely
going
not
on, I'm
hyperbolic
going to
because
finish.
they only left
Yeah,
one
I'm going to
person
finish. Well, regardless, you can have your own opinion, but I'm speaking facts, and you can do your own research. So this
No,
can help
you're
you
not.
out.
You're
So
just
it
saying
won't-
shit that's not true.
Okay, sure. Okay. You can look it up for yourself, my friend. So
No, we have. That's
what
why I'm
guys-
telling you. You're telling us
So
a
what
lot.
God's saying this in First Samuel.
let him
Thanks
talk.
so much. Appreciate you. So what God's saying is like in First Samuel with the Ananites, right? He was saying this as a divine judgment. A divine judgment. To go
So
against
he
them. To
judged
have
babies
I'm going to finish.
because 400
I'm gonna
years
finish.
prior, they had
So-
I thought you was done. My bad.
Okay.
Anyway, so
You're-
go ahead and finish your spill there.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So
Yeah.
he was saying that's a divine judgment because of what they've done to Israel for centuries and things that matter, right? It's hyperbolic. It's not being taken in a literal sense, like, oh, yeah, go smurder kids. No, because these people, the Ananites, the people that you should be talking about, they're the ones who was actually smurdering and throwing their kids into sacrifice and things that matter to these demons and stuff like that. So if you're really going to talk about smurdering, which is something,
Hey,
you
Trey.
gotta tell them that you're talking about, then maybe you
Trey.
should go, read the Bible first. And,
Trey, can you when you say if they go do their research,
hold on 1 second.
whom would you suggest that they go read?
I mean, I would suggest PhD Bible scholars who's written
Thank you, though.
extensively on this subject.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just, you said if they would go do their research,
Yes, you should.
they would see this. So who would you suggest that they read?
Who teaches? What do you mean?
Like which scholars are you referring to?
It doesn't
that they
matter
should
what
go?
scholar. I mean, just read it.
Just
You can read. You can go ahead and understand. Like all
Sorry,
the
so
scholars.
you-
Well, all the scholars actually know the shit's gonna say that's hyperbolic. So,
Oh, okay. Who are
Yeah.
they?
So we don't
Who
go
are you-
based
can you-
off. So
Trey,
all
Trey,
this. No, listen.
Trey?
Listen.
No,
Yes,
I'm asking you Trey. I'm asking you a specific question. that
It
you're
is
not
a specific
really-
question.
You're
I'm
not,
answering
You're not
it.
really answering it. So I
How am I
asked
not
you
answering
which
it?
Trey because I asked you which scholar.
Why?
Well, because I'd like to know who I should go read.
Okay. Well, I mean, go look it up for yourself.
Right, but I mean, you've
Go
done
look it
this
up for
research.
yourself.
Trey,
There's
you've
multiple
done
scholars.
this. Trey, you've done this research, right?
Go look it up for yourself. There's multiple
Trey.
scholars.
Trey, you've done this research, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
so go look it
who
up for
did
yourself.
you read? Who did you read where you read that 1 Samuel 15 is utilizing ancient Near Eastern war rhetoric?
Strong will read it in what way? Give me context.
Using hyperbole.
Yes.
Who did you
yeah,
read?
So, right. So
Where
is
you
it
got
is
that idea?
So let me ask you the question. So is that hyperbolic? Yes or no?
No, it's not. But who
Really?
did you
No,
read?
so give me proof that it's not.
Yeah. Hey, who did you read?
No. Give me proof that it's not. It's multiple scholars. Give me proof that it's not.
Dude, are you,
Right, that's what I'm asking you.
You see what you see what I'm saying here.
You
No,
recognize
no,
that
no,
you're
no,
still.
saying.
All you have
Hang
to
on,
do is this.
Trey,
Look, you guys are trying to
Trey,
argue about something you have no idea what
Trey,
you're talking about. And I'm
You're
trying to
talking to a
convince
Bible
yourself.
scholar, you dipshit.
I don't care. I have the Holy
Trey,
Spirit.
Trey,
Bible scholar
that's great.
doesn't make you smart.
Trey,
I don't care
Trey,
if you're a Bible scholar.
let's go
Gain
back.
the Holy Spirit, then maybe you will understand the
Trey,
truth.
let's reset. Trey, let's reset.
Nah, I don't need to reset.
What I
The Bible
asked
scholar
you.
doesn't make you anything,
Hey,
bro.
Trey,
You feel a little pride, bro.
Trey,
So
Trey,
you should.
Trey.
Dude,
What I asked
use the
you
Holy Spirit. Shut up.
Trey, what I asked you was which scholars. That's the first question that I asked you. It's the
Just
second
go look it
question.
up.
Right. So if
Go
you
look it
have done
up.
this research,
Okay, so let me
I'm
ask you a question. Let
assuming
me ask
that
you a
you
question.
know. No, don't ask me a
No. Let
question.
me ask you a question.
Tell
Do you
me
believe in
who the
God?
scholars are that you
Do
have
you believe in
read.
God?
Tell me who the
Do you believe in
scholars
God?
are that we
Do you
should
believe in
go
God?
read.
Just ask
All
you a
right,
question. Do
let
you
me
believe in
see if
God?
I can help
have a
you.
conversation.
No,
I'll give you
sure. So do
Trey.
you believe in God?
Trey, are you referring to Paul Copan?
Do you believe in God?
Trey, are you
It's
referring to
multiple
Paul
scholars.
Copan?
Answer my question. Do you
So
believe in
can you
God?
name one? Can you name
It's
one that you've
multiple
read?
scholars,
Right, I
bruh.
understand that. Can you
Okay,
tell
so
me
okay.
one?
So when I give you some, hold on. So when I
Yes.
give you some, when I go back and go look at it, when I give you some,
So you
I want
don't
you to tell me how
remember
they're
who
wrong,
you
okay?
have read?
I want you to tell me how they're
We
wrong,
will.
okay? Is that a
We
deal?
will.
Is
Do you
that a
not
deal?
remember the people that you've
Yep.
read?
But you see how you can't even be honest with me? You see that? You see what I mean?
No,
I
nobody
don't see
I
sees
what you
said
that,
we
mean.
Trey.
said
You're the
So
yes.
what
one
I'm telling
being
so
We will
dishonest.
answer.
listen. This is why pride is gonna make you fall in the end. You're
Okay.
telling me, hey, go tell me which scholars actually agree. Okay, cool. I'm no problem. Let me go back and give several names. I'll give it to you. So
It's
then stop
concerning
talking.
to
Let me
me that
finish.
Then
Let me
give them
finish.
no.
Stop
to us.
talking. Stop
The
talking.
reason
Give
that
them
I'm
to us.
You're
asking you,
being
You stop
Trey,
prideful.
talking. Give us
Stop
the
being
Trey,
prideful,
scholars.
bro. Just
right,
listen. It's
Trey,
okay,
the
bro. Just
reason,
listen.
hey,
Just
Trey,
This
the
listen, bro.
partisan
Listen.
reason,
crash
Hey,
right,
it's
out.
Trey, the reason that I'm asking you is because I don't think you've done the research.
so just listen. So just listen. So when I do give you the names, all I'm asking you is trying to and tell me how they're wrong. That's all I
Trey,
want to
We
know.
will.
Trey,
We will.
Okay, so I'm
I
gonna go ahead and
will.
get the names real
But
quick.
Trey, but I want
But
you to
no, it's
focus.
no
No.
buts. It's no
Yeah, I
buts.
want you, I
No,
said
this
that
is
I
the
will. I said that I will, but I'm
yeah.
trying
This
to
is how your
point
pride is
out.
gonna fall, though. So here
Okay.
we go.
If you could,
Dude, my God.
One
so
second.
while you're looking, you go ahead. I'll talk while you're looking for the scholars that you don't remember.
It's
So the
great.
reason that I asked you that question, right, was to prove a point because you came in and said you guys need to go do the research.
Yes,
So
indeed.
so Trey, shh.
This
So
guy's
then
crazy,
by
bro.
me asking you which scholars and you don't know, that suggests strongly to me that you haven't done the research.
Okay,
Do you
so when I give you
understand
the
now?
names, then what?
Then we'll
That
go
will
from
still
there.
No. So when
indicate
I
that
give you the
you,
names, then
yeah,
what? Then what?
that will still indicate that you didn't remember or know who the scholars are that
So is
you
it enough to know
supposedly
that it was
read.
hyperbolic?
Do
So
you know what it
if it's
means to do
proven hyperbolic,
research?
then what?
There is no proof of hyperbolic,
Oh
but
yes, it is.
let's,
Oh yes,
okay,
it is.
Trey, focus.
I
So
know.
do
I
you
need
understand,
you to
Trey?
focus. I need
Trey,
you
do
to
you,
focus.
Dude,
Trey,
So
calm
no.
down.
Trey,
Listen.
do you
I need you to no.
understand
Listen,
I'm
why
calm.
I asked?
you keep, dude. You keep screaming. Listen. You
I'm not
listen. We'll
screaming.
have
Tell
a
the dude to stop talking. So
conversation.
allow me to
Yes, you
talk.
are.
So
You.
Okay,
hold
You.
on.
it's okay. Ape, it's okay. I
It's
think we've
okay. Yeah,
sufficiently
let me have a
demonstrated to
conversation with them. It's
everybody in the
okay.
room. That's
It's
okay.
okay. It's all right. It's
Shh.
cool.
I think we've
So
sufficiently
hold on,
demonstrated to
yo.
relax, buddy.
I'm
Relax.
relaxed, bro.
Yeah,
God
you're
Almighty.
definitely not.
Dog.
So I think we've sufficiently demonstrated to everyone in the room
What?
that
Are you
you haven't,
serious?
hey, I haven't
Oh my
finished what
God.
I've
Could you
said,
shut
that
up?
you haven't actually done the research here. Okay. So now we can move on past that. So let's talk
That's
about the
crazy
hyperbole.
work, bro. It's
Yeah.
okay. Okay, cool. If you
Let's
want to say that,
talk
that's
about
fine,
the,
bro.
hey, shh,
It's
let's
okay.
talk about the let's talk about the hyperbole in 1 Samuel 15. Go
Sure.
ahead and tell me, hey, tell
No,
me
no, 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 no,
what
no.
the,
I
hey,
want you. No, no. I
tell
want
me
you now
what
to
the
answer my question. Now, I want you
tell me what the hyperbole is. You've made a claim that it's
answer my
hyperbolic.
question. Answer
What
my
is the
question.
hyperbole?
No, answer my question now. Answer my question.
What is your
Because now you just
question?
having biased opinions. Just be a man and answer my
What is your
question. So
question?
prove to me that it's not hyperbolic.
Tell me
That's
what
not a
the
No,
question.
don't
hyperbole.
ask me
Hey,
that. Just see,
Trey,
you're being
listen to
disingenuous
me.
now.
Trey,
Okay, bro. It's
tell me,
okay.
Trey, tell me what the hyperbolic statement is, and I will show.
Answer
No,
my question first.
listen. You can't say
Answer my
this
question
passage.
first,
Trey, listen, I know that high school is hard, but I
buddy.
promise once you graduate, get
And
out into the real
I
world,
know
this will
that
be
you reading the
easier.
Bible without the Holy
So
Spirit is definitely hard. So answer my question.
Trey, I'm trying to answer it. You
So
have
just
to
answer
tell.
the question. Don't answer the
Okay,
question with
Trey,
a question.
I have to understand what you're saying is hyperbolic.
1 Samuel chapter, hold on.
Which part?
Oh my God.
What is the hyperbolic
1
statement?
Samuel, when God was talking about with the kids and stuff, the babies, with the infants. Yes.
Infants?
Yes.
The infinits. Yeah.
Okay. So let me see if Trey,
this is how demons. I want you guys to take I want y'all to take a close attention to this.
Okay,
this is how
Trey.
demons act, you guys. I want y'all to take close, pray for these people.
So
bro.
let me see if I
answer my
understand.
question.
I'm going to try.
Okay, so just answer the question.
It sounds like what you're saying is that when Yahweh said, "Go unalive everybody," in verse 3 down to the infants and children, that was hyperbolic.
Yes.
He didn't really
and so
mean
tell
that.
me that was not. Yes.
Relax.
Yes.
He is.
So
If
now
you
I
shut
understand
up.
what you're saying. So now here is the problem with that position, okay? If that were hyperbolic, do you think that Saul understood it to be hyperbolic?
Answer my question, bro. Stop asking me a question with a question. Just tell me how.
All right. Fair enough.
Stop trying to manipulate.
Okay.
Just
Fair enough. I will not ask you a question. I will just relax, big guy.
I'm trying to. So
if just stop talking and let me answer.
Take the answer.
I am. So if Yahweh's statement were hyperbolic in the passage, then there is no coherence to the story. Here's why. If Saul understood that statement to be hyperbolic, right, just a figure of speech in its ancient Near Eastern context, then when Yahweh came back through the prophet and said, "Hey, you didn't unalive everybody," Saul would have said, "What? What do you mean I didn't unalive everybody? But that was hyperbole. Yahweh didn't mean to unalive everybody. He just meant like soundly defeat them." Right? So the story would have no coherence. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. Keep going though.
What did Saul do wrong if that's a hyperbolic statement?
Again, so as you would actually read and understand the ending, the Machanites, however you say the name,
Amalekites.
Thank you. So what you will understand is that there was raging war against them.
No. Focus on my question. You're not answering my question, Trey. You're not answering my question. You're not answering my question.
Answer the question.
Let me repeat my question.
Listen. I'm going to answer.
Let me repeat my question because you didn't understand.
I'm not going to repeat.
Listen. What did Saul do wrong if Yahweh's statement was hyperbolic?
Now actually answer.
Are y'all gonna let me speak?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So stop muting me. Please stop muting me. I don't have to be here.
We will if you will stop talking.
Okay, I'm trying to talk
and actually answer the question.
That's what I'm trying to do, but you keep muting me. Stop muting me. Okay, cool. So this is how it is one. So when God was literally telling Saul,
what did Saul do wrong?
Oh my God, bro!
Trey, you're not answering the question. What did Saul do wrong? Then answer it, please. What did Saul do wrong?
Just shut up and let me talk. Be quiet. Golly.
I'm waiting.
So when okay, then shut up. So what I'm saying is this: it's not a hyperbolic because Saul went out. She tried to go rage war against them and murder them, but he did not defeat the king. You have to understand, God was trying to tell them to go out so they can save the young ones, right? Because why? They were being innocently, murdered innocently. Why? Because they were murdering their kids and these sacrifices to these demons. So this is a hyperbolic. If you actually knew God, God was against that. He didn't want that. That's why he told the Israelites to not do what they did. Didn't Saul's son not have some of the things, these demonic things, these statues, these little items that were demonic?
So I have to say, I didn't understand anything that you just said.
Let me finish.
You're going to need to say it differently because I didn't understand that ramble. What is it that Saul did wrong?
I just told you.
Nobody understood it.
He did not defeat the king over there.
So you're saying, let me just understand. Let me understand. You're saying that when God said, unalive everybody.
It's okay.
Wait.
No. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. High school's tough. You'll get through it though.
Yeah, and I know.
So what you're saying is that when Yahweh said, unalive all the infants and the people, that what that meant was just unalive the king. Is that what you're saying?
No, see, now you're manipulating what I'm saying, bro. You're manipulating.
Well, that's why I'm saying it was unclear. So
Sense,
say it again.
No.
Yeah, I want you to say it again.
Since you can't have a real conversation.
Here's how I want you to do this. I want you to say,
toxic, bro.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to say,
you're strong down here.
I want you to say, here is what Saul did wrong. Okay, go ahead.
So it's okay, bro. You're not gonna understand once I tell you. I tried.
Holy
so
Spirit,
I mean, y'all
activate.
can send out laws and things that matter. Y'all can do y'all's
Activate.
research, please. Go ahead and do y'all's research. God has already won.
Okay.
So if you don't have the Holy Spirit, you're
concession.
not going to understand. So I can be a loser in your eyes, but in God's eyes, I'm a winner. So
thank you for the
concession. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Thank you guys, though. Y'all have a blessed day. I hope y'all really understand the truth. Appreciate it.
I didn't consent to that blessing.
Right. Imagine calling everybody else prideful while steamrolling and refusing to listen to anything.
A Bible scholar.
My God.
Yeah.
And he brought up Bible scholars. He's like, Bible scholars don't matter. Once we're like, we have a Bible scholar here, you're talking to him. He's like, I don't care about scholars. Well, you brought him up.
That's what's so interesting about so to make sure that I am clear, it is absolutely true that people like Paul Copan, who I would not say is a Bible scholar, but whatever. Let's just grant that for the sake of argument. Paul Copan makes the argument that 1 Samuel 15 the writer engages in ancient Near Eastern war rhetoric, right? Of course, this is the critique that people like Dr. Kip Davis and I have, and it's the question that we've repeatedly asked Paul, and he doesn't really have an answer for it, and that is, what is the hyperbole? Because, again, the narrative of 1 Samuel 15, it relies completely, in order to be coherent, it relies on Saul failing to enact God's judgment, to carry out God's judgment, right? And the narrative itself, the framework of the narrative is to present Saul as someone who unalived everybody except the king and the choice animals, right? So if it were a hyperbolic statement like Paul Copan argues, and it were intended to be soundly defeat them, then Saul obviously did that. And there's just no question about it. So Saul would have responded ostensibly to Saul. Hey, No Degree, how are you, man? Ostensibly, he would have.
Say that Josh,
go ahead.
I hate to say it, but Josh did poop. You put boot to ass to this poor guy. I mean, it was awful.
Of course he did.
And I don't like to argue with Josh because I like to use him to my advantage. But I did want to come up here.
Speaking of which, I've been sitting here looking for some stuff I wrote down of stuff you said, Dr. Josh said, and I'm trying to find it desperately.
Well, let's not.
Yeah, because No Degree, right you always claim Dr. Josh agrees with me, and it's like, no, he doesn't. He does not agree.
Yeah.
Now I have to say,
in this case, Dr. Josh and I agree. I think this is a horrible argument. It's hyperbole argument, and I think Josh soundly defeated him with that about Samuel, because he's right. Samuel would have done it. He would have done exactly what God told him if it's hyperbole. So I don't know. There's no debating that. I don't know why scholars even go that way.
And it's interesting, Matt, because I don't know if this would be something you'd probably enjoy the commentary. I don't know. Do you remember Harry Hoffner, Matt? We've talked about him a couple of times. He's the guy that was a Hittitologist, evangelical Hittitologist.
Yeah.
Anyway, he passed away several years ago. But posthumously, they just in this, I'm looking at it here, the Evangelical Exegetical Commentary series, EEC, they just published 2 massive commentaries, one on 1 Samuel, one on 2 Samuel, and they're excellent. So, and again, he was an evangelical scholar, so I think you'd probably.
Did you ever talk to Michael Heiser before he died? Did you ever have any conversation with him?
I'm trying to remember if I ever did have a conversation with him. I don't think so.
Because I don't think he would. I think he would think that was bad too. because he had no problem. I lecture that had something to do with the fallen angels and Nephilim and stuff, and he was
Yeah.
killing all them out. So he thought that God was just trying to completely annihilate them all.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think
but
Mike's.
anyway, yeah, host Dr. Josh and I agree most of the time, 99.9% of the time.
And
Yeah, I
to
bet you
be
don't agree on some of that shit I wrote down. I wish I could find it.
to be fair, and Matt, you tell me if you disagree. Matt, by the way, Matt and I go way back. Matt, I first met you when I used to referee those debates, right? On was it the Atheist Roundtable or
Yeah,
was
you
it?
refereed a debate I had with Tom Jump, I think. And you refereed
Oh
another
yeah,
debate I had on, what was that guy? Tart?
yeah. I think it was
Oz
the
Tart or
Atheist. It was
something.
either the Atheist Roundtable or the Atheist Network group at that
Yeah,
time. I don't remember which one, but Oz. Yeah.
yeah. So we
Hey
go
guys,
way back, y'all.
I am so sorry to do this. I hear Megan's starting to find some frustration with the kids. So I'm gonna go help her.
Oh dear.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but okay. I'll try to tune back in a little bit. Good to talk to you again, Matt, Casey, John. Good to
Bye,
talk to you guys.
Josh.
You're gone. All right. Yeah, they're on.
Bye, Dr. Josh.
Hi guys, I love you.
Oh shit! I dropped. I got you, Doctor John. I dropped no degree there. Oops.
Oh, and Z said they
Z.
accidentally requested up. I saw that earlier in the chat that Z said they accidentally requested.
Oh, no worries then. I was wondering why I was sitting there quietly then, but here we go.
Yeah, I've come to the conclusion after my last talk with No Degree that I don't actually think he believes any of this stuff.
Maybe.
I think he truly believes in it. It's just he's really bad at making.
How y'all doing?
What's up, man? Are you over 18?
Hey, yeah, I'm over 18. TBS
Cool,
is
man.
the black sheep, no doubt. No pun intended.
Oh, I hear you. Are you one of the Christians, sir? Or a black Hebrew Israelite?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Oh,
just listening to that last conversation was absolutely just mind-boggling and just really frustrating because one, I'll 100% agree with you guys in that take. This was not a hyperbolic statement at all. God did literally tell Saul to destroy the Amalekites, men, women, and children. There was no question about that whatsoever. I don't even know why that gentleman got on here trying to defend a hyperbolic statement when there's nothing in the context that suggests it otherwise.
Well, he probably just knows it's evil as fuck and that's him coping with
it. Yeah. But yeah, I was just
don't you agree?
No, but go ahead.
Oh, so my bad, man. You can bring up one of the topics if you want, or you got something else, or we can just tell you why we think God's horrible, which that's one of the examples. But
okay, I guess what I'll be looking at is that I've been as far as Jesus is not the Messiah. And God seems to be really horrible. One of the things that I don't think I just wanted to say in general. I don't know why, and I guess. I mean, it happens to a lot of Christians or whoever believe in whatever they believe in, feel the need to want to defend the God that they believe in. And that's one of the biggest mistakes to ever do, because I think God can speak for himself if he chooses to, first and foremost. And as a Christian, I've been a Christian for pretty much over 30 years. But the whole point here is, I think in Christianity, they've been sold on a view that this Jesus view and Jesus's view of love and mercy and grace. And mistakenly, Christians take that entire view throughout the entire Bible. And certain situations, yes, that's the case, but and other times it's not, And so I guess, I am a Christian, but I just wish sometimes the Christians that come on here really look at the correct view and understand that right is right, wrong is wrong. And what the scripture is saying is not
God's wrong when he does that, right?
No, I would not say that he's wrong. I would say he's all knowing, and so he has his purpose. I may not understand it. I may not agree with it. Well, yeah. This purpose was to destroy the Amalekites because of what they did to the children of Israel. I get that. But into the depths is what I mean. What's the heart of it? I mean, yes, a general statement because of such and such, but he's privy to things that I don't see or know. Like I was giving an example. God, though he foresees everything, he does not ordain everything. And I pull that assumption, or I pull that view from 1 Samuel 23. When David asks Abiathar for the ether and wondering if Saul is going to destroy him or the men are going to turn him into Saul, God says yes. He's going to do that after he grabbed the ephod, but then at the same time, David completely reversed courses and goes another way. And so what God said would happen if he did turns out not happening, because God, even though foreknew it, he did not ordain it. So same thing like that in other cases in the Bible. There are certain things that God foreknew was going to happen, but he did not ordain them to happen. But there's times he gave instructions to do certain things.
Right. But I mean, what we do know about this is that it's God ordering genocide on women and children for an event that they had nothing to do with.
Correct. And I would say, and there is no sugarcoating that. And I would say he did the same thing, with his own people, except it wasn't necessarily a genocide. It was more so of a remnant. This was through the Nebuchadnezzar, right? He called Nebuchadnezzar his servant, and he sent his servant, a Gentile, to destroy population of his people, but not at all. And that included men, women, and children as well.
So why are you a Christian again?
I know, and this is the complexity, right? So the thing is, I have learned to view God in a view that is not necessarily mainstream Christianity view. I view him as a loving, merciful, and gracious and forgiving God, but I also view him also as a righteous God and a God of judgment and a God of
genocide,
order. Well, if you want to call that God of genocide, you can call it, yes, a God of genocide. I mean,
And you think that's okay?
I'm not going to deny that. However, I choose to believe in him. So, because to answer your question, I am a Christian because when I first heard and read about Jesus and his message appeared to my heart, especially growing up in the world I grew up in, my demographics, my community, my personal struggles, then I was able to look at those teachings, apply those teachings, and to better my life. However, it did not obscure my view, the biblical view of God and what he did, what he allowed, and what he commanded.
Yeah, but we're curious why you serve a God like this. Like, if you know this is like evil, like what's to admire and love about this?
Well, I'm not going to say that it's evil. I'm not going to say that it's evil. I'm not going to say necessarily. I'm not going to say that it's good.
Is it?
I'm not going to say
it was evil.
I'm sorry. Did you just say that it's not evil to stab babies in the face?
Okay, so here's what I will say. What was going on here was a military campaign.
And that's okay? In the context of war, you think it's fine to do that?
Unfortunately, during that time, those were the methods that people used.
That's the wrong answer.
Hold on for a second. Hold on. Okay, well, to you, yeah, it is, and that's fine.
So if you went to war right now,
for a second. Hold on for a second. I have to be addressed for something real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Please just give me 1 minute.
Sure.
You're good.
Dude, I'm so puzzled. I'm always so puzzled by them saying stuff like, well, it was war, so it's fine. No. No.
Sometimes I'm still taken back. Like, this is like I'm creeping up on like 200 times doing this now, these lives and stuff. So I've talked to a lot of people at this point, but I'm always a little bit taken back when they already know certain things. It's like, so you already knew about this stuff.
Yeah. Well, and then they just accept it. They're just like, well, he knows stuff I don't know. And I'm like, oh my Lord, y'all are so fucked up.
Okay, I'm back. So So here's the deal. One, I can understand how people may feel about what I just said. I've already heard the comments that was happening while I was on mute, which is fair. But again, this is where my my consolation has been. This is where my peace has been. People can say, "How can you serve a God?" Yes, war is not pretty. Killing, taking a life is never pretty. Whether you are being told by a president to take a life, whether you're being told by a king or a queen to take a life, it is not pretty. Okay, some will call it evil, and that's
we can't
I
do that now.
understand
It's against
that, and there are
international law. We have a
right.
Geneva Convention. We can't take women and children as war captives. You can't make slaves out of people. You're not even supposed to be in civilian areas with the war now. Like, why didn't God say this stuff? This would have been
Correct.
actual, like, more respectable than what we're getting here, it seems.
So,
God says you can
and that's a
take
good,
women
and that's a
children
good
as
question.
war captives and stuff.
Well, so
Right.
no doubt.
And that's a good question. And now, and to answer the question from now and then going backwards, today, correct, we do have war crimes, and it's for the humane of civilization, for the humanity of people, and that's perfectly fine. But I think we have to also understand that God works in the world as it is and not as we would it to be.
So God's limited.
No, God is not limited. People
You
are.
just said that he's limited.
No,
works in the world. He works
if
in the
that's
world
he
as
works
it
in the
is.
world as it is. Basically, whatever is going on in the world at the time, he is not going to force people to do and to think a certain way.
Yes, he is.
It's
That's the
people's choice. He'll
entirety
present.
of the Old Testament, no doubt.
Okay,
No,
so okay,
you know
so
that there's
no, wait a minute.
613
So if we're going to
commandments,
talk
right?
about right, but wait before those commandments, but when those commandments was given, understand what the people said. The people entered into a covenant with God, and they said, "All that you have said, we will do." So they agreed. This was a choice matter here. They agreed to the covenant that God was enjoining into the children of Israel. So this was not forced upon them. This was told to them. This was explained to them, and they said,
It was
"All
written on
that
their
you have
heart
spoken,
and on
we will
their
do."
mind is what it was.
Well, right,
Well,
and what did
it was written on tables of stone.
no.
That's the Old Testament.
Exactly. Hold on, no doubt. Can you point to me in Exodus where it was like the Israelites made an agreement with God, or was it just Moses that was up on the mountain, workshopping all these laws?
Yeah. Hold on for a second.
Also, I was going to point out there's 613 commandments in the Old Testament. 47% of those are arbitrary. Like, they serve no real purpose as far as civilization goes. It only works to arbitrarily serve the whims of God.
Not to mention, God does not act in the times. He says these laws are good and right in his sight, and you will keep them all the days that you live on the earth. He doesn't say just during this time. He says all the days you live on the earth.
Yeah, and Jesus reaffirms that in the New Testament. Oh no, we lost him.
Yep. No. That sucks. He was pretty reasonable too. Actually, kind of. Well, actually screwed me up a little bit, so to do certain things, so I have to reevaluate how. Hey, what's up, man? King Nehemiah?
Yeah, I'm
what's
here.
Up, buddy? Yeah, you're a Hebrew Israelite, aren't you?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a black Hebrew Israelite.
Oh.
It's just Israelite.
So you're not one?
I'm an Israelite, but black Hebrew Israelite, the term is not true. Would you call yourself a white agnostic or a white atheist?
No, I wouldn't.
Exactly.
I mean, we didn't make up the term. Other people use that term to describe themselves.
Yeah, they come up here and they say
They say, I'm a black Hebrew Israelite. So just because, I mean, I get that you don't want to use that term, and that's totally fine. But other people do use that term. It is a real term. So saying there's no such thing is just not true.
Okay, I didn't say it was. When I say no such thing, it was made up by people outside of the Israelite community, and they adopted it.
Agreed.
So that's not a real term. They just use something that was told to them.
Well, they might have adopted it, but it is a real term that is used now. So it is used today, and I get you maybe don't like it, but that's something you'd have to take up with the Black Hebrew Israelite community. We didn't create that problem for you.
I mean, we're trying to talk them out of it too, man.
Yeah, I'm not with the Black Hebrew Israelite community because they don't follow the laws of the Most High.
Okay, so what do you
makes
believe?
A Hebrew Israelite, but not a black one.
Yeah, I believe the Old Testament alone.
The Old Testament.
Oh, so Judaism?
So you're Jewish?
It's not. It's not Judaism. It's not Jewish. That was a term. Those are terms that were made up outside. But once again,
like Black Hebrew Israelite.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So Judaism is a made-up term too. That's also not real.
Of course.
Oh, okay. So how about we just talk about what's in the Old Testament then? What do you believe? What makes you believe that the Old Testament is, or things in the Old Testament are real? What convinced you?
Because it's happening right now. It's a prophecy.
Can you give any kind of specific thing that we could discuss with, like?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
In Exodus, I think we had this conversation before. You remember me being on your channel before?
Yeah, you were saying it was helping the girls out or helping the family out when you sell your daughter as a slave. Yeah, I remember.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say slave.
Yeah, you did. It's on camera. It's on my YouTube channel.
Wait, hold on. You said slave. I said servitude. You can go back and rewind it. There's two different things. That's what was that was.
I was talking about slavery the whole time.
Yeah, but you was talking about slavery. But the actual book, if you read it in Hebrew,
how do you sell somebody as a servant? That don't make any sense.
Huh?
How do you sell someone as a servant? That makes no sense.
Okay, we're gonna have this conversation again. If your family is poor, and you need money, you have children that can work. That person that they're going to work for pays you up front for that person. Y'all make an agreement on how long that person is going to work. That is
the agreement is you buy her for life, according to Exodus.
That's if they want to. It don't have to be for life.
No, it does not say that. It says, when a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. If she does not please her master, who designated her for himself, where it's called a master, then he shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her to a foreign people, since he has dealt unfairly with her. It literally says he's dealing unfairly with her.
Oh, okay, hold on. Did you hear for life in that sentence you just read?
Yeah, it says they shall not go out as the male slaves do.
Go out as in to do the work as the males do. They do other things that has nothing to do with.
No, it says when you buy a male Hebrew slave, he shall serve 6 years, but in the 7th he shall go out a free person. And it says when a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. So they're slaves for life.
But did it say for life? You're adding that in. It did not say for life. Then you actually kept reading. Hold on. Then you actually kept reading and said they shall be redeemed. So how can it be for life and they shall be redeemed? That
says if he does not please her, he will let her be redeemed. If he don't like her anymore, you have to let her be redeemed. That's not saying if you do like her, you have to redeem her. It's saying if you don't like her.
Because the laws for the men and the women are different. The laws for the women are not going to work in the field and doing all this other stuff. That's not their job.
It doesn't say shit about that.
If you read the rest of the book,
I've read the rest of the book.
I read it 14 times.
Me too.
But that's not what I came up with.
Oh, okay. I read it 14 times, so I understand it more. Okay.
Hold on.
So 14 times you're good with slavery.
No, I'm good with servitude. See, y'all, that's the conversation we had last time.
Okay, but hold on.
I don't think it was.
Okay, but I have like kind of a so let's not focus on this specific thing since y'all had this conversation last time. So you're talking about the kinds of slaves where the people are in debt and they sell themselves into servitude, right? Okay, fine. That does happen in the Bible. 100% totally agree that happens. But what about the people who are taken as slaves or purchased as slaves from other nations, and those people are kept for life and inherited by the owner's children?
That's going to happen too.
That's chattel slavery. That's slavery.
No.
That's not servitude. That's being owned. You are owned as property and inherited.
That's not chattel slavery.
Yes, it is.
Slavery and chattel slavery.
It is chattel. It is chat. This what we're speaking about right now is chattel slavery, when you are owned as property and inherited down generations. That is chattel slavery.
Okay, now who did he do this to?
Who did he? Of the people of other nations. Who's he? I'm sorry. Who's he?
The Most High. Who did he tell the Israelites to go and do this to?
People of other nations.
Foreigners and aliens residing amongst them and their families who are with them.
Yep.
Wait, say it again.
Their families who are with them, the nations that are around you. It says you get your slaves from the heathens that are around about you, and also from the aliens and the foreigners who are residing with you, and from their families who are residing with you. You can get slaves from
non-Israelites. Non-Israelites.
I understand. See, y'all keep using the word slave, but when you go back to the Hebrew, it says servant. See, that's what it mixed up at.
No, it doesn't. In Hebrew, it says slave. The word is eved. That means slave.
Right, yeah. So, King. So the thing that you're distinguishing here is that there is a bit of conflation with the idea of being a servant and being a slave, and it's all in how they're treated. That you got to use the context clues in the verses to know which one you're talking about, right? Exactly. So, like a debt slave is going to be somebody that's sold into that debt, like they have a debt to pay off or something like that, and so they become a slave. That this is apologists render this as indentured servitude, but they have to pay off that debt, right? And then there are certain laws around that, like the Jubilee year and everything like that. Right. But in Leviticus 25:44 through 46, like we've been describing to you, that is chattel slavery. So there's a difference there, but that difference is in how they're treated. And it's very obvious in Leviticus 25 that they're talking about movable property being dehumanized into movable property, which is what chattel is, and thus is chattel slavery.
Okay, so were they beat, raped, and all this?
Yes.
Yep.
Also, even if they weren't, is it, hey King, hold on. Even if they weren't, is it okay to own other people and they're inherited and you own their children, and like, is that okay?
Okay, the book says if they want to stay there, it's
no,
okay.
It doesn't.
Oh my God.
Not to mention, this actually forbids debt slavery among the Hebrews in Leviticus 25, and it says you can take slaves from everywhere else, including the aliens who are residing with you. So it actually forbids what you're saying it allows, and it's allowing what you say it forbids. So you've got to ask backwards.
No, that's not true. That's not what I said. See, you're not understanding. You're using
it is what you said.
Hold on. You're using the word.
You said you're okay with the servitude.
You're using the word slave. When you say slave, I think about what my people went through. When I think about servitude, I think about a maid that has to go and do some work in somebody's house. It's a difference.
No, there is a difference, but the difference isn't there in the actual Hebrew text. But I think that what you were talking about a second ago with, them choosing to stay there is actually the loophole in the indentured servitude or debt slavery that you're talking about, where a Hebrew, if a Hebrew is indebted to another Hebrew and is serving them in the way that you're talking about, and that master gives that Hebrew debt slave a wife, a slave wife, a chattel slave wife, and they have children and everything like that. In the Jubilee year, in that 7th year when he's set free, he could make a decision to either leave like completely and lose his wife and children, or he can choose to stay and become a full chattel slave and be a slave for life. And they have to like go out and get like an earring or something like that. I'm not sure.
And keep in mind what he said. If the chattel slave if the indentured, if the debt slave chooses to leave in the year of Jubilee, then he loses his wife and children who are owned as property by the slave owner.
So they were born there.
No, that's not. When you're born somewhere, that doesn't mean you literally have to stay there for life in that home, in that family, because you have no other option. You are owned as property. That's not what, it doesn't matter if they're born there.
But if you're born in America,
I can go and live someplace else.
Say it again?
If I'm born in America, I can go and live someplace else because I'm not owned.
But you are owned by America. Your Social Security.
No, I am not. I am not owned by America. That is incorrect.
I am not owned by America. You can denounce citizenship of America, and you can cut all ties and rights to America anytime if you denounce it in public.
I don't get passed down as property from one president to the next. That's not how this works, sir. I can denounce my citizenship and move someplace else.
That's not what I came up here for. We had this conversation already. The conversation I came up here for was the Amalekites.
Okay.
I'm sitting here listening to y'all talk about the Amalekites, right? Yeah. And y'all said that the Most High told the children of Israel to go and completely destroy the Amalekites for what they did 400 years or so prior, right?
Yeah.
And that's the only reason?
Well, because they lost the war.
That's what y'all were saying.
Yeah. That's what the Bible says.
So you're telling me that the whole time, between the time that they started taking the children of Israel to the time that the Most High told them to go destroy them, they didn't do anything else to the children of Israel?
Well, there's other stuff going on, but
exactly.
And when it gives the reason for this genocide, it is for what they did in opposing the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt.
Okay, it doesn't matter what reason he gave. He can give any reason he wants as long as it's correct. But the whole time,
the reason was for what they did in opposing the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt.
Just let me finish. The whole time, the Amalekites were doing all kinds of stuff to the children of Israel unprovoked. The whole time. So that means that their children were constantly doing the same thing. It never stopped. No matter what the Most High did, said, nothing, it never stopped. So, if somebody keeps doing something to you over and over and over again, over their children, how would you get that to stop?
Well, obviously, you got to bash their babies' brains out, right?
How would you get it to stop?
Oh, me? If I was all-powerful God, I would just snap my fingers and it would probably stop.
Oh, we talking about realistically.
Oh, realistically. Oh, well, realistically, does it matter what God said?
Yes, because the Most High goes realistically.
Oh, okay. Well, what God said is, I will punish the Amalekites for what they did in opposing the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt.
But that was not my question. I said, what would you do?
But that's what God says.
I said, what would you do? That was the question. I already know what God did and what he was going to do. The question was, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to think about it for a while. Maybe I would hide in a cave and I would carve that out in the mountain and put a really big rock in front of the entrance. And if we got attacked, you could just shield ourselves in there and defend ourselves and stuff.
Oh, so you just let it keep happening?
Well, you take steps to defend yourself.
But you have to keep taking them steps to defend yourself for generations instead of completely stopping.
Yeah, that's what they did in
the what?
Yeah, in the ancient days, that was a generational thing. Yeah.
No. It was a generational thing for other people, not Israel. See, the whole point of what I'm saying.
Okay, well, that's what I would do. I would just defend myself for generations. I don't know what else to do. So.
Okay, see. The point I was making is the Most High is going to come to a point where everything has to completely stop. There is no, he did this, go arrest him and put him in jail. Now
Mama Bash Raid. What's up, guys? Sorry, King Nehemiah. I was getting a little Mama Bash here raid, so I was saying hi to Mama Bash. We love Mama Bash. All right, go ahead. Continue along with your whatever you're saying there.
Yeah, the point is, the only way to stop it is plucking it from the root. There is no other way to stop it because people teach their children with the nasty stuff that they've been doing, and it's going to be ongoing.
What do you think the Israelite children learned when their parents slaughtered everybody they don't like and made slaves of everybody else? What do you think they learned?
Okay, that's the same thing I'm trying to tell you. All of it happened because the same thing that the Amalekites did, these people did. He put the law in front of you. He told you what not and what to do and what not to do over and over. Everybody, the planet knew this. He showed that when he came up out of Egypt. But you still chose to do what you wanted to do. So what you think is going to happen? The same. Hold on. The same thing is going to happen now. It's already coming to that point right now. You don't want to listen. So what he's going to do is he's going to put the judgment on and pluck it from the root. This is what I mean by prophecy. What happens in the Old Testament is happening now. It's coming to the point where since people don't want to listen, he's going to pluck you from the root. Just wait and see.
So we should be keeping his laws and stuff, right?
Say it again.
So we should be keeping his laws and stuff so it don't happen to us. Is that what you're saying?
Of course, but it's your choice. If you want to,
so you chose to keep the law, though, right?
Of course, of
you have
course,
kids?
Of course.
You have kids?
Yes.
Have you sold any of your daughters as a slave or a servant? Have you sold any of your daughters as a slave or a servant?
Yeah, one of my sons work at McDonald's. One works at...
No, that's not what I asked. I asked if you sold your daughter as a servant or a slave.
It's the same
So
thing.
you got paid for your son to work at Walmart or McDonald's?
What? Yes. When he came home, I got some of the check. What? He had to pay bills.
Your son, what did he give you money for?
He had to pay bills. Okay, so you telling me I'm not going to teach my son discipline and what to do? This is what does. This is what happens in the real
that's
world.
not what I'm. No, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you if McDonald's paid you for your son's service, and you sold your son to McDonald's.
He did get sold to McDonald's. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm sorry. You're trying to tell us that having a fucking job is the same as slavery.
No, I did not. You keep using the words. No, I did not. You keep using the word slavery. I said specifically servant.
I know what you said, but the problem is you're wrong.
He purchased servants. That's hilarious.
Stop using the word slavery. I'm always disagree with you.
We're not going to stop using the word slavery. We're not going to do it. It's in the Bible. Slavery is in the Bible, and the fact that you can't grapple with that is a you problem.
It's in the Bible you have. I have
no, it is in the original text, dude, in the original language. You're simply wrong. And this is something that you have to grapple with in your Bible. And I get you don't like it. And it's good that you don't like it. You should like it.
But hold on. He, for some reason, he went back to this.
You sold your son to McDonald's, man. That makes you a real McAsshole.
For some reason, you went back to the slavery thing. You don't want to get back.
I don't want to get back about your son to
McDonald's, man. That's the point I got.
Someplace else. To say having the you're trying to tell us to stop talking about something that makes you uncomfortable about your religion.
I didn't say nothing about stop saying it. You never heard it come out of my mouth.
You said stop saying slavery.
Incorrect.
That's a quote.
I say you keep saying slavery.
Yes.
I said servitude. I didn't tell you to stop saying nothing because I can't make you stop saying anything.
We're saying the Bible says it though.
The Bible says
You're taking the Bible's words out of our mouth.
Don't put words in my mouth. Let's go back to the Amalekites. If not,
we're telling you what the Bible says.
If not, I prove my point on the Amalekites and him killing the children and everything. Let's talk about that.
What point did you make about him killing the children? The children had to die.
Man, Lord have mercy. Y'all just like Christians.
You said they had to have their brains bashed out because they were making trouble the whole time. No, that's not what God says.
I got to get to work. I understand. I feel y'all. Y'all have a nice day. All praise to the Most High only.
Screw the Most High, man. He's awful.
I love how they always have to get in their little, I'm going to praise before I leave.
I'll holler at God at you. Joel, are you there?
I'm right here.
Hey, what's up, man? Are you over 18 and a believer?
Yes.
You're a believer?
Believer of what?
Of Christianity.
No.
Or Hebrew Israelite.
Christianity is a religion. It's made up. No, I don't believe in Christianity.
All religion is made up. What do you believe?
So is this woman over here, is she's going to be interrupting like whenever she feels like it?
I'm going to talk whenever the fuck I feel
I
like
just
it.
asked you a question.
You have a problem with women?
No.
Yeah, she's my co-host.
If I'm talking to one person and then you keep butting in every 5 minutes, I just like to know that beforehand. That's all. I don't care.
Yeah, she probably will then.
Because
So
I could deal with both of y'all at the same time. It don't matter to me.
How often am I allowed to speak?
You can say,
Every
do
5
what you want
minutes
to
is
do,
too soon. Is
white
every
woman.
every
Do what you
7
want to do,
minutes?
white woman. Do what you
Am I
want to do.
allowed to
don't
butt
care.
in every 7 minutes?
You
Is
can
that fine?
do whatever you want to do, you smart ass white woman. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I
Is
just
white
like to
supposed
know.
to be an
Can I
insult?
know? Hold on.
This
Can
is
I
so
know
strange.
if I'm talking to one person, but then someone else is in the side of my ear talking? I need to know. Yeah, she's probably gonna be talking every 5 seconds.
Well, you probably
Fine,
know
no
because you're
problem.
here.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You'll
Hey,
know.
I'd like to have a question. One question asked. Can I have one question asked? And then you can ask me anything you
Maybe.
want. Can I ask one question?
Sure.
Sure. Hey, did the white people kidnap the people, another group of people, brought them to America, make them work for 400 years for free? $14 trillion they estimate that they stole from people. Why is that okay? Is that okay, or should you get money back, or should we just
Hell no, it's not
wash your
okay.
hands and say, hey, everything's all cool now? What would you do
No.
if your people were being forced to work for 400 years, stole the money from them, and then just say, hey,
I'd be
everything's all
pissed.
cool?
Yeah,
I mean, we've
I'd be
repeatedly
pissed
spoken
off.
out.
I
We've
know you'd be
repeatedly
pissed,
spoken out
but
about
since it
that.
didn't happen to you, you don't care, correct?
No,
No, we do
that's
care.
not what
In
anybody
fact, that's why I
said.
started this channel. Yeah.
Why do you think that we think
No,
that's
no,
okay?
no.
Who do you think
I'm
you're
asking
talking to?
you.
Like,
You have people in America now who are still kidnapped, correct?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
No. That's a crime, correct?
Yes.
Did anybody pay for the crime?
Are you talking about a specific you're going to have to be
Yes.
more specific. I don't know what you're talking about.
The people who sold people on auction blocks in America
Yeah,
took the
they're
family, split the family up, took the baby
right.
here, brought him
Right.
over there, took the mother and brought him over in this state. I'm
Right.
asking you, is it okay? Is it okay for you to do that? Is that a
No.
crime?
Yes, it's a crime.
So what happened to
yeah.
the people who did it?
I don't it
Nothing.
varied depending it
And
would
we're
have varied depending on who the person was. I don't know the specifics
no,
of
it's a
every
race of
single
people who did it,
thing.
not individuals. A race of people did it. You took a whole race of people, and then the race of people
So
bought the
let's
people. Correct?
sir, can we just bring
What
the
are we even
temperature down a
talking
little
about?
bit?
Am I
Because
right or not?
no, you're not right.
I'm wrong. Okay,
You
now,
are.
see,
You
now
are
you're not
wrong.
you're being disingenuous now.
I'm not being disingenuous to say you're
I'm
wrong.
not even sure what
Look,
you're talking
Yeah,
about.
no,
Like,
facts
why are
is
you coming
facts.
to us about slavery like we think it's okay? We
Because
don't.
you're the people who did it.
we did
What
nothing
the fuck
to
are you
You're
talking
you.
about?
okay. If I took your whole race of people for 400 years, this is 400 generations. There's a lot of generations. You kept giving
Sir,
the
we
money.
can have a
You kept giving the money.
conversation
Hold on.
without all of
You
this.
kept taking the money. You stole the money and gave it to your kids, and took that money and gave it to your kids and kids and kids and
That
kids.
was
You were the
wrong.
Who is
byproduct
you?
of slavery. Am I wrong?
Who is you? You keep
Right,
saying
like
You
you.
white people. Because you called us black.
Not
Hebrew
me,
Israelites.
white people.
I
White
don't know. I
people
ain't never been a
150
black.
years
Black
ago.
is a crayon color, not a race. You know why? I want to address that too, because you say black because it sounds racist. But you don't say Mexican Hebrew Israelites because they're Israelites. You don't say Indian Israelites because they're Israelites too. But you only say black. Why?
There's not a
Because it
group
sounds
of people
racist,
that
doesn't
call
it?
themselves Indian
No, we don't
Israelites.
call
we didn't
ourselves
make
black.
that up.
Why would we
You
call
don't
ourselves a
call
crayon
yourself
color?
that, sir. You don't call yourself that. That's okay.
Why would we
Other
call ourselves
people,
a crayon color?
I don't know. We didn't make it up.
What do you call yourselves? What do you white people call themselves?
I mean, I call myself
Irish,
KC because
German,
that's my name.
Italian. You say a German, Italian,
I didn't say that.
Russian.
You said
But
that.
hold on, but you call another race of people black. That's not a race, correct?
You called us white.
Is white a
You call
crown
us
We're not a
black.
crayon
I'm just
color,
returning
mister.
this.
We're
I'm
not a
returning the
crayon
favor.
color.
I'm just returning the favor because you called us black. I'm calling
Okay,
you
so
white.
what do
I
how
didn't
do
call
you
anybody
refer to
black.
how do you refer to yourself?
But
Because
hold
there
on,
are loads.
KC, did you call someone black Hebrew Israelite? Did you not say that today?
I
They call
said that black
themselves that.
Hebrew Israelite
No,
is
who are
a.
they? I'm an Israelite. I don't call myself black. I
You don't
claim
have
color.
to. It's
That's
fine.
what you
Nobody
Okay, do
said.
you
is
call
saying
your?
you
Hey,
have to
hold
call
on.
yourself
Slavery. They had
that.
KKK members. Do you call yourself a KKK member?
No, because I'm
They're
not
white.
part of the
They're white.
KKK. So, okay. What,
Why don't you?
dude?
No.
Hey,
Can I
what
call you
is your
KKK
deal,
member?
The
man?
Can I
Black
call you
Panthers are black too.
Listen,
Like, what
listen.
do we call
Can I call
them?
you a KKK member because they call themselves one?
I'm not
You
a
can't call
member
me
of.
one.
You know
And
what
I'm
I
not a
am?
member of the Black Hebrew Israelites.
Okay,
Are
nobody
you a
Dumbass.
Black
said you
Panther?
were. No one said you
Are you?
were. Also,
Are you a
sir,
White
you know,
Panther?
I'm not a member. I am not a member of
Hey,
the
you, hey,
KKK.
man,
Joel,
if you was in front of me
Joel,
right now, motherfucker, I would
Joel,
fuck you up. I would
Joel.
guarantee you
I'll
wouldn't
bet.
fucking be
Yeah.
laughing in my fucking face. I guarantee you that.
Can you mute him
Oh,
for
I
a
I
second?
guarantee
guarantee
you I
Can
you
you
would.
mute
would
him
because
for
I
a
you're
know.
so
Hey,
second?
funny,
I'm in
funny
Pittsburgh.
man.
I'm in Pittsburgh, motherfucker. I'm in Pittsburgh.
Joel,
Hey, where you
listen,
at?
I'm
Y'all
not a
remember
Where you
member
right
of
at?
the.
Where
there?
you at? Where you at?
Yeah,
Where
Can
you
you
at?
please,
North
Smiling
Alabama.
ass motherfucker. Where you at?
Joel?
North
You're a
I'm.
little
Alabama.
cocky ass motherfucker. You're a
Hey,
little
can
cocky
you
ass
mute him for a
motherfucker. Yeah,
second?
I'm
you
trying to
are.
tell you.
Can you mute him
You're a
for a
cocky ass
second?
motherfucker, and you wouldn't be laughing in my fucking face.
Joel, listen, I am
Yeah,
not a
but
member of the KKK. You know what I am a member of?
You're a member
Black
of the K. Hey, you're.
non-believers. I'm a member of Black
I
non-believers,
knew
and
you
that's
was
not
gonna
an
fucking mute me.
organization
I
that
knew it.
I
yeah.
started. It's an organization that other people started and called it for themselves. If you have a problem with the name of Black non-believers, you can contact Mandisa Thomas.
Black atheist rants. Black. I mean,
Like, we didn't make that shit up. Oh my
like
God.
what the fuck?
And nobody told
Like,
him he had to go
jeez.
by Black Hebrew Israelite. If he doesn't want to use that term, fine. I don't care. I will respect whatever you want to call yourself. It doesn't mean shit to me.
Like he's mad at us. There's a group of people called Black Hebrew Israelites. Like what the fuck?
Oh
Like
my
I didn't make it up,
God.
man. Like calm the fuck down. You gotta kick my ass
Jesus.
because you're mad. Shit.
He's too mad for Saturday morning. Holy fuck.
He needs to respect the Sabbath better. Bro, you can't come back up here. That was, you're insane.
Joel, I don't care where
So,
you live. I'm not interested in meeting up and having a fight with you. Like, it's fine, dude. Just chill. If you don't call
the hell you
yourself
even
Black, that's
fighting
okay.
about?
It's fine.
Holy bat flaps, Batman. Let's bring up White Butterfly. I'm just kidding. She might not be there.
Are you
There
kidding
was
me? Is
somebody
their
named
name White Butterfly?
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm gonna bang
God.
her up and be like, "Well, you talked to Joel." Oh man, that's funny.
John said White Butterfly is like, this is awkward. I'm also a crown color.
Oh, that's funny, man. Oh shit. Mark, are you there? Mark 6?
Yeah, I'm here, Abe. I'm sorry. I did not mean to come up. I'm a non-believer, so you might want to dump me and bring up a believer, brother. My bad.
Well, I'm breaking up with you then.
He sounds like another non-believer from the South. I love hearing that.
Me too. That's actually
No, unbaptized and unbothered. I'm not Canadian. I live in Alabama. I live in Alabama in the U.S. Yeah.
all right. Let's see here. Uh-oh. The queue is empty for the first time today. How crazy is that? Which I kicked the other guy back out. He's trying to cross back up like we want to hear him holler some more about.
Goose Prophet in North Alabama, but I'm not going to get any more specific because apparently somebody wants to know where we live, so they, North
Dude,
Alabama.
I'm like, has he been to prison? You think? Like,
Yeah,
I have
probably.
no idea.
Well, so I've actually had somebody way back. It was maybe 10, 12 years ago. There was a guy that got really upset over like Facebook moderation, right? And this will be real quick. He essentially wanted to get a whole bunch of biker gang of people to like kidnap me and corral us in a ring so that he could fight me. Cam, they're on Cam. I don't know if you. I don't care. I don't know if you care.
New guest, are you over 18? New guest, hello. New guest, are you there?
That might have been an accident.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I'm assuming it was on purpose since you cambered up for a second, but no worries. We'll drop you back there. Dugald, welcome back.
Sorry, I had a call earlier. My bad.
No worries, no worries. Next time, don't be neglecting the live for the calls, though, man.
Right, I know.
Dugald, did you miss Joel?
I did miss Joel.
Oh my God.
Oh shit. He was really, really bad for a lot of reasons.
He was very upset.
Oh, well, they do tend to get that way. They're going to be very upset later with me later anyway, so it is what it is.
Nice. Is that the same guest from before?
Hey, now might be a good time to advertise Rocket City Reason since we had a Mama Bash raid and Mama Bash is going to be there. And
That's
Dugald is going to be
idea.
there and you're going to be there and I'm going to be there and John's going to be there.
Be where?
Rocket City Reason, October 23rd through the 25th in Huntsville, Alabama.
I heard if anyone isn't there, they're complete pieces of crap. Is that true?
But we're going to have so many great people, and all the people that I just mentioned that are going to be there are there as like special guests. They're not even speakers except for Godless Engineer. He's speaking on a panel, but we've got Seth Andrews and Forrest Valkai and Erica Gutsit Gibbon. We've got Thinker, Black Atheist Rants. We've got Sidney Davis Jr., Mandisa Thomas, Volsey. Volsey is one of our MCs. We've got John the Skeptic and Jesus Unfollower and other special guests like Justin Deconstruction Zone and Leaving Faith is going to be there speaking on a panel. Pinkbeard is going to be a special guest there. So like, it's going to be awesome. Get your tickets, rocketcityreason.com. So much fun. We're going to have a barbecue, a drag show, the conference, a live line show, and a tour of the Space and Rocket Center.
And if you don't come, you might just be a really horrible person. So just consider it. You know what I mean? Like, you might not. I'm just kidding. Maybe you're just busy with life and shit. But we'll forgive you, don't worry. But yeah, get your tickets for that at rocketcityreason.com. And I mean, y'all, God, I can't wait. It's going to be so awesome.
And we'll celebrate the Sabbath together.
So, thanks to Black Atheist Rants Bar, I am going to piss off literally the entire nation's worth of white Christians today. My live today is going to be about white people should not be Christians, Muslims, or followers of Christ.
I love it. Love it.
Hell yeah.
And you can thank Bart for that because he and I had a long talk.
You're not going to yell at us anymore, Matt, are you?
I can do what I want to do. There's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is mute me. But I will get you later. I will get you later.
I can drop you too.
You can't. That's what I said. You can mute me or drop me. That's all you can do.
Oh, okay.
So do what the fuck you want to do. Do what the fuck.
Yeah. I can. Look, I did it. I knew that was him. He had the same profile. Look. Oh, thought I had another one in there. But yeah, y'all, for real, the Rocket City Reason Conference is where the world of deconstruction is going to be October 23rd, 24th, and 25th. What a great time to say that again. Man, I'm so excited about that. I can't freaking wait.
Me too. I'm having trouble like waiting for it. You know what I mean?
Yes. I'll be there for the drag barbecue and all day on Saturday.
And the Queens are local here in Alabama. They perform it straight to live normally. I mean, they perform other places, or not straight to live, straight to ale. They perform it straight to ale normally, and other places around town, but they're fantastic and so much fun. We're going to have a great time. But it's all the way in October because I didn't want to ask people to come to Alabama
in the middle of summer, because that's fucking awful.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would have enjoyed that.
Sometimes it's bad in Alabama in the middle of the damn winter.
Not unless you put us down on the coast.
Yeah.
Good God. It gets rough. There was a day before Christmas. It was like 78, like a couple days before Christmas this year.
Oh yeah, I've gone golfing on like the day after Christmas. I've gone golfing on New Year's. Like we have really mild winters usually, but this winter was pretty cold for a while. It got cold.
We did have some really cold days. That's for sure. I think last year was worse. That little ice sheet thing we got last year was crazy.
Well, yeah, and it's different down here. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you get a half an inch of snow and it shuts the whole city down. People from the north say that. Yeah, we have no salt trucks. We have no salt. When they do put anything on the road, it's from pickup trucks and it's gravel and sand. Like, we don't have shit to treat the roads. We don't have scrapers. So, like, the plows, we don't have snow plows down here. So, like, yeah, it shuts everything down until it melts. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we can justify spending that kind of money for the one time a year we might actually need them for a day. So we'll just shut down, I guess. Hey, TBS is back. Hell yeah. Hey, welcome back. Whoop, I don't think he loaded in yet. Hey, welcome
Sorry,
back, TBS.
guys. I had to. Hey, thank you. Yeah, sorry, I had to step off for a little bit. Had to take care of something, but anyway, yeah, I think the last time we were talking, someone was asking for proof of the children of Israel actually agreeing, and I sent Exodus 19, verse 7 through 8, and that's when they said that all that he has said that we will do. So it was more so of a covenant entered, a mutual agreement.
Well, which verses did you say?
7. I mean, Exodus chapter 19, verse 7 and 8, if I'm not mistaken.
So Moses went, summoned the elders' people, and set them before all these words that the Lord had commanded him. The people all answered as one. Everything that the Lord has spoken, we will do. Moses reported the words of the people to the Lord. Then the Lord said to Moses, I'm going to... Yeah. Dense cloud, hear speak and trust. Then the Lord said to Moses, I'm going to come to you in a dense cloud in order that the people may hear when I speak with you, and so trust you ever after.
Can I ask a question? What happens if they don't acquiesce? Like, what does God do to people who don't follow his commands?
Depends. He might kill their unborn babies. He might
put them in the belly of a whale for 3 days and
might.
force them to do what they did to begin with, what he told them to do to begin with. Like,
Hell, he might make a bet on him and just have Satan do it.
He might have them swallowed in a sarlacc pit for using the wrong fire. Like, I mean, there's just no time.
He just allows it. He only allows it.
Yeah. I mean, if you touch his special box with his special cup in it, he might give you Gonosypha herpalades.
Oh, I thought it was herpagonosyphiclap.
That works too. Whatever, there are people
many
call it
variations
different
on
things.
it.
Yeah, there's you can call it what you want. Oh, GE says one's anal, the other one's
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Michelle said, or strike you with lightning. Yeah.
Or send one of the ites to kill you. And unalive everything.
He loves sending ites to kill people.
He loves that. Loves it.
To kill other ites.
He likes plagues and famines too now.
Oh,
Don't forget
loves
his
those.
emphasis on plagues and famines and stuff.
Yep. Greg, come on up. Or
You better
sorry,
not
not
be
Greg.
You better not be a
Grethmog.
firstborn child either.
That's true. If you're a firstborn child, unless you have lamb's blood. You
You're
got lamb's
extra-
blood and smear that shit all over your house, you're fine.
Firstborns are always extra in trouble for some reason. I don't know what he got against them, but
Extra points.
They get all the property rights though.
right.
It's true.
Hi, grace be multiplied in the Lord.
Hi,
Hey, what's up?
Grethmog.
Over 18?
Oh yeah, I'm over 18.
Cool, man. And you're a
Well over
Christian,
it.
is what you just said, I think.
Yeah, I had a question for the sister, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
While you were talking, and somebody else was mentioning
Mhm.
that the stories of the Bible in and of themselves are true, which is an understandable critique. Though, do you believe that these people didn't exist at all?
Who people?
Well, we're starting with Jesus. Start with Jesus.
That's probably not a good one to start with me.
Yikes.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, that's why because you did say something. You were like, well, yeah, it didn't like. This is where I wanted to understand. Like, are you Jesus mythicist? Like, he didn't exist? Da, da, da. Like, where do
I
you set with this?
So in regards to Jesus, I do not think that Jesus existed in history. I do agree it is possible that Jesus existed in history, but I just don't think that the evidence supports that Jesus existed in history.
So if I could do this, right? Like, make it like this. So you have Black Hebrew,
Oh, don't say
tan
that. You'll
colored
set the dude on
Black
fire over
Hebrew
there.
Hebrew Israelites. Okay. So you with
His head's exploding
okay.
right now. No, he's still in there commenting. This is craziness.
Oh, Father.
Hebrew
Okay.
Israelites. We have Hebrew Israelites. We have people who,
Okay.
yeah,
Yes.
that's fine.
Don't worry, Greg Malt. The Holy Spirit will
Okay. Moving
redeem you.
on.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Moving on. um. Either them or you have like people of other traditions who either deny Christ entirely, or you have Christians or people who call themselves Christians. I would like to say that I would look at the Gospels or anybody who spoke of the Gospels, and then he said that this is a historical person that existed, and what he said they're recording, and it's faithful,
There's
right?
there's nothing contemporary to him though, so why would we believe that just because the Gospels say it?
Yeah.
That's fair, right? So that's what I was gonna go to, right? So there's like three levels, which is the level that you guys are at, which is like that's there. Nothing that's there is recorded that could be true, and then the second level, which is the intermediate kind of like middle level, which is just like, well, not everything that he said is recorded faithfully,
Well,
pretty
like
much, right?
Nothing he said at the time was recorded at all.
right.
Mm.
And that's
Okay, so that's okay.
And
and
any of
and
the people who claim to be eyewitnesses weren't eyewitnesses because we don't. That's third and fourth hand knowledge that they were even there. None of them wrote their names down, what they saw, who they were. We have no idea.
I mean, even the Gospels are written anonymously. Names were assigned later. So,
And not to mention, they're literally written as fiction. Like, they're clearly making stuff up that they couldn't possibly have known.
Right. Like if I gave you this
Well, I
scenario,
mean, the
what's
Bible kind of starts like that, doesn't it?
well? Though, what's the
I mean,
more
like,
likely
it
scenario
starts like that. It's in the beginning, God.
But what's
no,
the
yeah,
most
totally agree. Totally agree. It's all bullshit. Got it. Yeah, agree.
right? So what's the most likely scenario? An ancient or a 2,000-year-old apocalyptic preacher got a cult following that happened to take off for political reasons, or a divine man walked on water, healed the sick with his spit and dirt, and claimed and was the son of God. Like, what's the most likely scenario here, at the best?
Right. Well, as I mentioned, even the sister agreed. Like that's how the Bible starts. You know, in the beginning, God. It tells you nothing about this. It just says, "Hey, this is what's happening." You have to take it on either faith and assumptions that this person is telling you something that's true.
Right, but there's no evidence of that either. Like that's not real either.
Right.
Do you think that
Right, but that's faith. That is faith. Yes.
Yeah, but
and
it's
that's
like,
useless.
If the Bible was like actually panned out and lined up, I would probably still be a Christian. Like most atheists, like don't like it when you say you can't use the Bible to prove the Bible, but it would have proved it to me. Like if this stuff was actually lining up and these prophecies were true and stuff, I would probably still be a Christian. But the problem is, it's not just that you have to take it on faith. There's a whole bunch of reasons not to trust this stuff because it gets a lot wrong. Like it's getting historical points wrong. And if it can't even get simple historical stuff right, like why would you think this guy's actually came from God and stuff when it can't even get simple anachronisms and stuff in there correctly?
Right, that's a fair critique, and I understand where you're coming with this, though. I do see it, and I have, and as somebody mentioned, I think it was a sister or somebody mentioned one of you. Well, that Christians will tend to have to reconcile with certain things, and they will know certain things already, and they're just like, okay, we'll just take it up on faith, right? And that's a problem for some people.
So
Well,
not
yeah,
just on.
because faith is useless. It's no different than somebody's imagination. I can believe in the tooth fairy. I can believe in anything. It's a useless tool for truth because it can be used for literally anything.
And people are literally voting based on faith-based positions. Like, you're making decisions in life choices based on no reason at all. It's just literally how you feel about something. Like, that is not good.
That's when it comes to like everyday stuff, right? Like that's one thing, right? But that's another piece of an argument because that's not really the focus of everyone, right? Like I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm voting based off of faith reasons, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying it
Totally
happens
agree.
a lot, though.
It does happen a lot. Yeah. And
Right.
we totally accept and acknowledge that there are less fundamental Christians who don't necessarily involve their religion. There are Christians who support the separation of church and state, but just because they exist doesn't mean the other side doesn't. And the other side is not small.
Scary as fuck.
They are not small,
yeah,
and they are doing things that literally harm people, and so that's why it's a problem.
I mean, well, look at what you're doing, right? Already, the prompt is Christians or BHI. That's already a loaded thing. That's already loaded.
Why?
By itself.
Why?
Well, because in of itself, like the term Christian, you have many people from many different traditions.
Sure, so it's inclusive.
Who will affirm Christ, right? So it's inclusive, but that's not. Thank you. Right, exactly. But it's loaded. It's a loaded, inclusive term already, right?
But what loads it? Just Christians is an inclusive title for a large swath of people who believe Jesus was the Son of God.
And why would that matter if it's loaded or not, considering the fact that if it's still a true statement or it's something we're observing, what difference does it make?
Yeah,
if Christianity as a whole is causing harm and the so-called good Christians in it don't do shit about it to clean it up or fix it, then it is all Christianity anyway. So what difference does it make?
Well, so what you're applying in that logic of, well, they're not standing up and doing anything, according to the scriptures and what's written, isn't there something Christians are supposed to do according to the New Testament? What are you tracking with this?
Yeah.
What are you tracking with that?
How about
You're
not
supposed to
let
call
the
them out.
mouthpieces that represent your religion and do harm to others, not let them do that?
Or
Okay,
speaking out against it.
So I said
You're
in
supposed
regards,
to, like, rebuke
in regards,
that stuff,
in regards to the, in regards to what's right. But this is where, okay.
You're supposed to flip the fucking
Titus,
table in the temple. That's what you're supposed to do. Flip the fucking table.
Yeah, it says you're
right.
by the
So
words.
but this is where historical claims come in, right? So at what point in the historical point in the Gospels did this happen during Jesus's ministry?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think any of this happened.
They said he's supposed to flip the tables, right?
It was
right. Okay.
So I used the term. Hold on, sorry. I used the phrase because I knew you would understand what it meant. So that doesn't mean that I actually think that happened. I'm using a phrase that I know you know. So we're basically talking on the same, on the same wavelength.
Right. Yes. We are. Yes, we are right now. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is where I was going with this, right? Disregard the historical part. Right. What you're speaking about is in his in the Gospels, which is a part of his ministry, which is historically acclaimed to be about 3 years, right? So that instance of which you mentioned happened within a span of 3 years of which he flipped that table, right?
Okay.
So in the Gospels, what you're supposed to do, that can be a thing. You can flip tables. However, there's other places, in Titus, for example, which is what I was trying to bring up to the other brother, who was actually up here. I was just like, it lays out foundationally what you're supposed to do as a Christian for either people who are claiming to be, or at least just be like, well, okay, I've talked to you once or twice about this, and I've tried talking to you. How am I supposed to deal with you? Then we look at Jesus and his ministry, Matthew 5, right? What a person is supposed to do when somebody trespasses against you, does something against you. How are you supposed to treat them? There's an order to things, right? So if you're like, well, Christians are supposed to make sure and do XYZ in regards to anybody else who's calling themselves a Christian, well, there's an order given to Christians in the Bible.
What do you do when that when there are orders that contradict?
Like,
I mean, do you disagree that there are contradictory things in the
being
Bible?
subject to governing authorities. What do you think of that?
Like in the New so no, I don't really have an issue with this. Why?
Oh, no, I'm not asking if you have an issue. I'm just saying if you have like contradictory things that are in the Bible, like, I don't know, one's not coming to the top of my head, but
how about works versus faith?
Works versus faith. How do you get into heaven? There are two contradictory stories of that. And so there's faith and faith alone, or there's faith and works. What's the order? I'm just asking because you brought up the order. There's an order of things in the Bible that Christians are supposed to follow. So what happens when there are contradictory orders? What do you do?
Right. Well, that's in what you're speaking about. I would love to touch on this though. In regards to what I was addressing, are we okay with that? Or can we move forward with that from this question, or?
Sorry, I thought we were still addressing what we were talking about, but we can move forward. I was just wondering how you deal with contradictory orders, because you brought up that there was an order of things for how Christians are supposed to handle stuff. So I thought we were in the same area.
Right. So the reason why I thought it was a little bit separate is only because the other brother who was up here was talking about was that Christians are supposed to go out and admonish or be like, where are you again? Can you repeat what you said? I'm sorry. I don't want to paraphrase.
Me?
No. I think it was Dugald.
Dugald?
Dugald. Sorry.
I love Dugald.
I love Dugald.
Douglas.
Whatever.
Douglas.
Yeah, the problem is I have ADHD, and that was like 5 minutes ago. I don't remember.
Oh. No. Okay, forgive me then. If this sounds about right. There's a lot of evil going on around the world, and there's a lot of evil coming out of people who call themselves Christians, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the good Christians,
yeah.
the good Christians, yes. Okay.
But they think you're the bad Christian. So that's what I'm saying. Like I get where you're coming from, that you say they don't follow Christ how I think Christ is supposed to be followed. But then they are reading the same thing you are, and they are saying he is a fake Christian. He's not a real Christian because he doesn't follow Christ the way I think Christ should be followed. So this is a problem within your own house. Y'all got to fix your own house. That's not our problem. Except
make it our problem.
I don't have.
But y'all make it our problem is the problem.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, except it becomes everybody's problem. But it's not our not our job to fix it for you.
I don't even see it as my problem either. That's their problem. That's their separate problem. I got nothing to do with it.
All our problems. We all have to deal with it. Like Christians got to deal with other Christians. Like atheists got to deal with Christians. The Muslims got to deal with like it's all.
When it should be up to you guys, because you guys represent this faith, and so do they, and you all conflict.
Yes, you're Christians. Y'all are Christians. So
it is your problem.
This is where okay, so you would have, so in order to like move past this basically, right? Because as I said, that there was an order like given to this stuff, right? So like for me, like that is their separate problem. They have the Lord to deal with them on this one.
Yeah, that doesn't do anything for anybody here though. That just puts the blame somewhere else, and then that leaves everybody else miserable. For you, that's shitty. That makes you all terrible.
And they say the same thing about you. That's what we're saying is they say the exact same thing that you're saying about them, they say about you. You're doing it wrong. You're the bad Christians. Like that, and that's an in-house problem. But so can we circle all the way back to the title? You had a problem with the Christians, which is what we're kind of still talking about on the screen. So
I didn't have like a problem with it. I would just
how would you unload it? What would you say? Good Christians only, bad Christians? Like what would you say? Because how else are we supposed to talk about this group of people, which we also agree has a vast has just a variety of different beliefs and ideas within your own religion. So how would you say it if you're not, because y'all are Christians, all of you are Christians, you all call yourselves Christians. So how would you unload it?
Well, just like how you were able to like separate like BHI, for example, right? Like if you've separated BHI as a part, like that they claim to be Christians, even though they will say, "Oh no, Christians is the third," but they say they follow Christ, right? No, they claim to follow Christ, right? They claim to follow the Hamashiach, yes. So that puts them in a historical really bind, which even a lot of them who I've spoken to will say, yes, we're followers of Mashiach, which means that they're followers of Christ, which if de facto makes them Christian. Right?
Okay, sure.
But they're not using that. They're not using that term though, right? They're using Christian as modern day Western society Christians, right?
Yeah.
So just like how you can do that with the BHI, you can do that calling out different traditions in the same umbrella term, right?
Okay, so you're wanting us to, you're wanting Ape here to basically write in 0.00000001 font so he can list 45,000 denominations of Christianity on the screen. Is that what I mean? That seems a little unreasonable.
Negative.
So
I was just calling it out as a loaded term. I was just saying that it's already a loaded term.
It's not loaded. It's inclusive. Inclusive.
And even if it is loaded, it doesn't matter. It is still a problem.
That's true.
Yeah.
But then why call out BHI specifically then?
Because they're a large group who identify themselves separately. That's why we try to get hold of them.
Right. So typically with something being loaded, there are presumptions coming in, and maybe I just haven't been paying attention. What's the presumption that we're making with the whole Christian? I mean, because Christian BHI, Ape is trying to get the large group of people that believe in a Messiah of Judaism, right? That's what's being communicated here. So what's the presumption
with Christian?
The presumption with Christian would probably lean towards historic.
No, there's no presumption of historicity. There's no it's a presumption of the faith. It's talking about the faith.
The faith. So that like the pillars of the faith, like what you believe, that like the main body of churches of which believe at the death, burial, and resurrection of our Lord and Savior. 1, 2, the second pillar, his Father had sent him, right? That we baptize in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, which is 3 pillars, right?
Yeah,
so
you're just defining Christianity at this point. I'm asking about what the presumption is.
Like what makes it loaded? Because loaded and inclusive, like you get loaded and inclusive are different things, right? So I'm saying it's an inclusive term. You're saying it's a loaded term. What makes it loaded vice inclusive? Because loaded means it makes an assumption. It presumes something. How does it do that?
Because the 3 things that I just listed is not everything that everyone affirms within the same body who call themselves Christians.
Okay, but it's a prompt on a screen, man. Like so I'm just trying to figure out.
You're asking me my opinion, and that's why we circled back, right? You're asking me like I'm giving you my opinion.
Okay, so reword it and tell me what you think it should say, and not like a vague general idea. What would you type on the screen to make it not loaded?
Good. Jesus is no Messiah. Seems really horrible. Request up to learn why you agree or disagree. Christians are BHI only.
Yeah, the only problem you brought up was Christians.
Christians
So
are BHI.
yeah, that was your
Well,
problem. So how would
I
you
was
reword that
inclusive.
section? What would
Wait,
you put there?
I didn't. Wait, no. Excuse me, sister. I keep reiterating this. I didn't. I was just pointing out the separation between the two, even though they still identify as certain things. All I was doing. I wasn't saying I had a problem with it specifically. I was just saying that it's loaded. That's my opinion. I'm not saying I have
Okay.
a problem. That's my opinion, though.
Okay. I guess I just disagree that it's loaded.
Is there a way to address Christians without it being loaded? Like,
That's the question.
No, there's no way to do that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so what's the problem?
I'm not saying there's a problem. There's no problem here.
Then why
There's
are you
none
telling
here
us
with
about
me.
it?
Oh my God.
No, all I did was mention it. All I did was mention it. I just
What was the point?
Okay, I get it. We all have ADHD up here, but I mentioned it for a second. It was just in my brain. It came out of my mouth, and now we're focusing on it. And it wasn't something that I want.
I thought that's why you came up. That's what when we asked why you wanted to talk about, that's what you brought up. So that's what we focused on.
So no, I was trying to lay the groundwork of like what we understood between each other, so I could ask the question. Because the question, what I already asked the question. The question that I asked the sister was, I was just like, okay, well, what level of like Jesus like mythicist? Either you're okay, the Gospels 100% faithful. Okay, no, somewhat faithful. Okay, no, not faithful at all. That's where you sit. I got my answer.
No, hold on. That's not concerning mythicism right there.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with mythicism. Again, what can you define? Hold on. I just want to make sure I understand.
Yeah.
Can you define faithful for me? What you mean, not define. I'm sorry. What do you mean when you say faithful? Like 100% faithful, partially faithful, whatever.
Like what they're so yeah, true. Like what they're saying is they met this man, they heard all the stuff that he did, and they are recording this as true of what they mean.
So faithful to you means true historical fact. I'm not trying to straw man. I'm trying to understand, just so I know how to respond.
I think he meant just believing.
True fact. You can say true historical fact. Yeah. Like if you were to tell me, hey, the sky is blue right now, and I look and I'm like, hey, that's confirmed. I can say that's a true fact.
Okay,
and I write that down, right? And I write that down. You told me this. I would be like, what you told and said is true, right?
Okay, but that's faithful. Because faith.
That's faith.
Okay, because to me, faith is something that one believes without evidence. So that's my understanding of faith, something that a person believes with no evidence. So if we have evidence of something, it no longer becomes an issue of faith. So when you say if something is true historical fact, then it's not faithful because you have evidence that is true historical fact.
Well, that's a little strange because when you get up into a plane, and you're like, I'm having faith that this plane doesn't drop, even though I know that this plane
not the same
does
thing.
XYZ.
That's not faith. That's trust.
Okay, that's not analogous.
No,
that's
because
trust.
that's
okay,
trust
so trust
based on
then.
previous.
So I'm using faith wrong then.
Well, yeah, because you're
using faith wrong.
Trust is based off of previous evidence. You're trusting that because this plane belongs to this airline who has safety standards and trained pilots and trained air traffic controllers and blah 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 blah, that it's not going to happen. It could happen, but you trust that it won't based on previous evidence to the contrary. That's why we say that. It's not faith. There's no lack of evidence that the plane will you know what I mean? Like there's no missing evidence here. We're not just going on blind faith. That's not what it is. It's trust in the process that's already been established based on results from previous flights, previous experience, all those things.
Right. Yeah. Which I'm not disagreeing with. I just right. Though I do. For me, I point to like that being God, right? Like if God being in the pilot seat, God trusting
God in that seat, hey, I'm getting on this plane.
Right, but
Yeah,
that's you
right.
that's you having a presupposition that God's sitting in that plane, not the pilot who trained hours and days and months and years to be able to do this. The air traffic controllers
Yes.
who are monitoring the skies for that. You're giving God that credit when it's humans doing that. That's a presupposition on your part. You have no proof of that, no evidence that that's the case. You're just making that assumption based on your faith.
Right. No one, no, but we agree that no one goes purely on proof, right? That's something we
Yes, we
can
do.
agree
I
with.
have proof that my car
Okay.
is going to start because it has previously always started. It's not a guarantee, but I have proof and evidence that it will. That's not the same thing.
All right, wonderful.
And it
This has
seems
been a
like,
wonderful conversation. Huh?
and it seems like your faith, your belief, just from this conversation about the airline and Jesus taking the wheel and all of that, it kind of seems like you believe things that make you feel more comfortable. So like it comforts you, the idea that God is helping to drive the plane or pilot the plane, navigate the plane, that God is protecting you. That gives you comfort, and that's fine. It's totally fine. It's fine to it's
Listen,
no, you don't believe
understand the
things
steel
because
man. Thank you. No, but no, that's
they don't bring you don't believe things that bring you comfort.
they
Why
don't
would
really
God
give
need-
comfort for the reasons that you may think, though.
Okay, why would God need to
Like for
fly the
example,
plane?
to give you an example, right? I said it in the chat, and I'm a veteran. I served in the U.S. Army. I've been to Afghanistan.
Okay.
In Afghanistan, there's multiple things of which I experienced where I should not be alive. Weird. At this point, I was an atheist, honestly, right? I believed, I was agnostic, really. I believed in a power of which that is higher than myself, right? Because I was just like, there's no way that I'm alone here in this atmosphere. Anyway,
So more deistic, like you believe
yeah,
that there
more
was a
deistic,
higher
like,
power, but you
right.
didn't have any specific definition of that power.
Know who that was, right? And
Okay.
I studied Taoism. I love Taoism a lot.
Okay.
And I don't know
So yeah,
if you ever studied Taoism. It's fun.
That's definitely not atheist or agnostic. That's more deistic in nature.
So you already had
so
a bias toward there being a higher power at that point.
Yeah.
Being a higher power, right? With that being said, there were certain questions that usually came up, of which could not really be answered fully by why I'm still breathing, why I'm here, right? Like,
I would accept that
not giving a full testimony.
Yeah.
Not giving a full testimony of everything that's right. Exactly. I didn't die. How? It just doesn't make sense. Like that's a factual statement. The factual statement is right. The factual statement is I didn't. Right.
My question to all
epistemology
believers,
of right.
Hold on. I had questioned this on every believer though. What did you do to rule out every possible natural, real life, reality based situations to cause what caused you to live? How did you rule out everything natural and get to a supernatural?
I kept waking up in the hospital.
Okay, but that just means somebody got you to the hospital. Medical professionals were there.
Also,
right.
Why? Also,
right. But
why?
that doesn't rule out. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Breath Mog. But why did God protect you and not somebody else? Because you're saying that, you believe in you decided you believed in this because there's no explanation for you being alive. Well, what's the explanation for them being dead? Like, why you got lucky? You got
exactly.
lucky. That
and
doesn't
it's
mean deity.
Stupid how lucky I've gotten.
Okay, but that doesn't mean God.
Listen, wait, the reason why I say it's stupid how lucky I've gotten, I'm somebody from I was the little goth kid in freaking middle school that would sit in the corner and do various things and harm himself. That was me when I was in school. And then I grew up, and then I continued growing up with that same mentality, and then got more proficient at doing this to myself. And it's weird because I was just like, yo, hold on. How do I keep waking up when I know that people just pass away in their sleep. Things happen to them. Wait, no, I should be grateful. Why am I not grateful? This makes me angry because I'm like, I should be grateful, but then I know I shouldn't be because I'm like, I didn't ask for this. This is just all evolution. It's just proof, right? I am here due to the genetics of everything that ever came up to this point. I love science, the technology, philosophy, everything. And I'm like, yes, I know this, but yet I still don't want to be here. And I keep getting more proficient with this. Why am I here? Okay, it doesn't make sense.
Sir, I feel like this whole thing you've just gone on with makes me feel like mental health professional is what is needed to help you figure these things out. And
exactly. Exactly.
Okay,
That's
so
the crazy part. I have been speaking to them for years. And mind you, every single time I talk to a legit, because I would study, I've gone into human psychology. I wanted to take courses and I studied the DSM-5. And I've gone through things and I've actually just nerded out and tried to figure out, hey, what the heck is actually going on with my brain psychologically for it to make sense and talking to professionals. And then when I stand before the professionals and I'm talking to them, they're like, you're sane. And I'm like, what? I want something. I want an excuse. Autism. Something. Give me something. Give me something.
Having depression or PTSD or something along those lines does not mean sane or insane. If you were looking for that answer, you were never going to get that because they're never going to tell someone they're insane. That's not how that works.
No, I do understand that, right? Though when it comes to inside of the therapeutic field, inside of psychology, in where you have a patient, especially when you go into inpatient consistently, when you're speaking to them, especially if you have healthcare and they want you there longer, if they can keep you there, it will be possible and they will do so. It's not like I was against help or actually talking to people, right? I have coping mechanisms that just, it seems like, oh, well, how can this coping mechanism work for the things that you're going through and the things that you've experienced in life? That's one of the questions that really go into this, right? And it's not gonna work for everyone, obviously, right? I get this, but psychologically, on the just the mental scale, it just doesn't, some things don't add up without there being some semblance of a mind behind this one.
But that's just a position of ignorance, though. Because you don't understand a thing, you're assuming a thing. And that's fine. I'm not trying to take that from you if it gives you that comfort. But to say that something is true or something is factual and make the claim of God and all that kind of stuff, like the evidence that you're giving us isn't there. You're giving us an I don't know, therefore God. Well, that's God of the gaps.
I find it terrifying. I don't find it comforting. And just to make this clear again, I don't find any of this comforting. I find this very terrifying. Why do I find it terrifying? I find it terrifying. I find it terrifying and something that actually something would piss me off, right? Because, hey, you say that you exist. I read this. I look at what's here, and then I'm like, why do I have to do this? Why would this make any sense? Right? Everything that I know, especially from how I survived, right? And it's just like, well, why? All these questions of why that when I look into academia and I continuously it's a part of me. I love academia. I love music. I love philosophy. I'm going to keep going into it as I get older. But as I'm looking into it, certain questions come up where it's just like, I cannot reconcile these things in this system.
Okay.
But I can reconcile it in this one.
Can I ask you something? I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's we got a special guest here for a moment. Let if you don't care, let Rada Gandalf there.
Hey, so I actually work in a mental hospital. So but before all that, what's interesting, you're talking, like, I thought was interesting earlier was that Dugald asked you, have you eliminated every just regular, maybe not regular, but occurrence that could happen in life, like a natural explanation? And you said, well, I woke up in a hospital. And Dougal said, okay, so that's a natural explanation. And you go, exactly. I've
Right.
lost count of the number of people that I've assessed, and to give you more insight, Griffin, I'm a crisis professional. So when people feel like deleting themselves, if you catch my drift, they yeah, and
I'm familiar with you.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I'm familiar with your kind.
Oh, okay. For a minute, I was like, "Oh shit! I hope you're not someone I've worked with." So that'd be a massive HIPAA violation.
Yeah, no HIPAA. Yeah.
Right.
I haven't said anything too far that violates HIPAA. I don't really believe.
Oh no! I mean, on my end, just you're not. Are you in the Midwest at all? You don't have to give me like what state you're in, just in general.
Negative. I'm traveling right now. I'm currently in Africa.
Oh, okay. I'm not worried. Okay, so you're familiar a little bit. So then you should know, from my point of view, I have literally lost count of the number of people that have woke up in the hospital and have no idea how they got there. And it could be from a number of things. They took too many of a prescription medication and were found unconscious. They were in a car crash that they intended to utilize to end their life. They drank too much of a certain substance that starts with A and ends with alcohol.
Yes.
And passed out. So I guess my question to you is, if your instance is somehow more distinct from everyone else's instance, please explain how, because all that I've heard and all that you've said is like, hey, I experienced a medical event where I lost consciousness and woke up in the hospital and I didn't know how I got there. I literally spoke to a guy like 2 days ago who told me the exact same thing. I'm not even kidding. So why should I grant your instance as any more special than the guy that I spoke to?
I wouldn't posit that it is.
But you did.
No, I would posit that I would posit that my experience is one that causes questions for me, for not specifically only just like me, right? Because there are many like me. I know there are many like me because I've spoken to many like me. And some of that still goes into, well, there's this collective thing where we kind of presuppose things. Well, okay, well, it's just luck, right? Because at some point, it doesn't make sense. At some point, it doesn't make sense. And then it's just like, whoa, just count your blessings. Something natural happened, right? Somebody came and found you. Well, okay.
Are you the only person that this has happened to?
No, I've in terms of like I've spoken to other. I have to search for other people like this. I don't want to be. I don't like being alone.
Right.
So
then this is not. So then this is what you would call a mundane event. Don't get me wrong. It's scary.
Right.
But
It's mundane.
But this is not supernatural. So we can just do away with it. So Dougal, this kind of goes to Dougal's point. You didn't, when he asked you for how did you eliminate every natural explanation, you gave just a natural explanation. Losing consciousness and waking up in a hospital does not a supernatural explanation make.
There's these, okay. That's fair, I suppose. Though there are factors that go. There's factors. Isn't there physiological factors that goes into this, especially for certain things?
What may have
You could have passed out. You could have had a stressful event, and your mind has blocked it out. You could have had
No, we're not talking about like those things. We're actually talking about NDA stuff. Like now, like we're talking about.
So you were clinically unalived?
For me, yeah.
Okay. So your heart stopped?
Yes.
Okay. But you're still here, so obviously you weren't completely dead.
No.
Okay. So then that would tell me that you still had some brain activity left that was still operating and you were resuscitated. So like near-death experiences, anything that you tell me, I can just posit, well, the natural explanation for that is the fact that your brain may or may not have been operating on a lower than usual amount of oxygen, which our brains hate that, and they release all sorts of hormones and chemicals which appear to give certain feelings and sensations and visions.
Yes. And
Okay, so that's the natural. So again,
I'm not against this though. Again, like there's two things here. We're saying the same thing, but I would also go deeper in terms of like and no anybody in the comments. I'm really sorry about this. Say something like air dusters, right? The canned air. That it's posited that, well, if somebody takes multiple hits of this, then it is more than likely that they will pass on da da da. But then yet there are people who end up getting addicted to this stuff because, well, that's what they're chasing. And yet they survive consistently when somebody else, oh, well, that's their first time doing it and they pass. And that's what they're expecting. Right?
Yeah, this is okay. Where are you going with that?
And this is what the person who is using is expecting, right? They want that for some people. For a lot of people who end up trying to go, they want that kind of stuff. So the question usually comes in where, okay, how unfair is it that I keep doing it? What is physiologically special about me that this person can keep surviving? Meanwhile, I continue on and wanting what they got in that first encounter.
Any number of things. Like, that's such a general question. So again, this is going towards survivorship bias. Do you know what that is?
Say again, brother?
This is going towards survivorship bias. Do you know what that is?
Yes, I've heard of it.
I don't know.
I'm familiar. You can.
Okay.
I'm familiar.
So,
you can.
Okay. Yeah. So then the thing is what I'm hearing is you happen to have. So I don't know what you've all done. It sounds like from what you've told me, it sounds like you've utilized some inhalants. It sounds like you've utilized some things.
I was giving an example. Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. So maybe not. My mistake. Sorry. I'm shifting into work mode a little bit.
You're good.
So like
a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little close to home, brother.
Yeah, man. I get it. But like the thing is like, so like, I guess, then what are you referencing? If you're giving like the inhalant thing as just an example, like, then what are you directly referencing? What have you engaged in that has pushed yourself to like the brink of mortality?
What I'm referencing is what you mentioned, right? Survivorship bias, right? For exactly, people who end up surviving multiple times who definitely do not want to be here.
What have
and
you
their
survived
question
multiple?
is,
Okay, what have you survived multiple times?
Oh, directly? Oops. Let's start with the alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drinks. Let's just start with that.
And that's been multiple times where you've gotten to the point where you woke up in hospital, you didn't know how you got there. You could have unalived. Without medical attention, you could have expired. Is that what I'm hearing?
Right. Okay. Even occasions of which where I walk into a hospital, like on my feet, pretty much on the pass. So what is like 0.8, I think was the highest that I blew or something like that, walking around, and they were like, how are you here?
Okay. Do you have a history of alcoholism in your family?
No, not in the conventional sense, because for example, my grandfather, he has an insanely high tolerance where he can drink consistently, whereas like his son, my father, he can't drink nearly as much. But my grandfather has been like that since he was young.
Okay, so the answer is yes. You do have alcoholism that's running in your family. You have an immediate nuclear family member who has the ability to drink themselves. Can your grandpa go above a 0.8? If that's, first off, I don't even know that a 0.8 is even possible. But
I don't know if that's possible. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, but so, above a 0.4, like above a 0.4, give or take. Is that something your grandfather can do?
I don't know. I've never seen him blow. I don't know.
Fair enough. But he can.
I just know he has a high. Like he's just. Okay. High from what I was told. Right.
Okay. So then the thing is
around the same level.
Okay. So there's this thing with alcoholism where that sort of thing can be passed down genetically. where you can handle your liquor a little bit better than someone who may not have that genetic disposition, or you may be more predisposed to using alcohol as a coping skill. And this all kind of just weirdly enough goes to genetics. So I guess just, it can be a matter. And also, it also depends on just your frequency of usage. If you're walking into a hospital at 0.8, which I'm going to be real, man, I'm very skeptical of that. Granted, though, I have met people at half that level at 0.4 who are still very cogent, but those are usually lifelong career alcoholics who have
I was in the infantry, man.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
A little bit of our drinking.
Okay, that contextualizes a little bit more. But my thing is like, okay, so you used to be in the military, which we know that has a high usage of high alcohol / stimulant usage just from the get go, just from a point of culture. Okay, so if you're saying like, well, how did I survive this? Other people don't. My guy, I spoke to someone like a little bit ago who had early onset Wernicke-Korsakoff. More than likely could probably tell me the same war stories as you, because I assume you know what Wernicke-Korsakoff is. It's alcoholic induced dementia. You typically get it later in life.
Later, yeah.
Okay. So I guess again, my question is, how do you know your situation is so out of the blue, like special? Because everything that you've done is described to me is instances of survivorship bias, where you are genetically predisposed, you're environmentally predisposed because you're an infantryman, props, by the way, my liver couldn't handle that shit. And you've also indicated that when you follow this up with like, well, how else could I have survived this? It just kind of goes to to survivor's guilt almost. Like, like, it sounds like when you talk about it, it almost sounds like this scene from the movie Thin Red Line, where like this one dude is just like, how am I here when the person to the left of me gets hit and the person to the right of me gets hit, but I'm the one that's still standing?
And I want to go. And I want to go. That's the end of that. That's the human part of it, right? Where it's just like, yeah, there's that unfair part, but then it's like, I also, like, yeah, they made me one of life, but like, I don't want to be here still, right? I'm not speaking now. Right. I'm just saying, right, that in explaining that line is just like, you don't want to be there, yet that's still happening. Your brothers and sisters, or even just random people that you hear about, you're just like, it just doesn't make sense, because it's just like, okay, well, sure, there's some natural explanations, but then I have zero power over this. None.
Correct.
Like, and so if I have zero power over this, why? Why don't I have? I'm supposed to be human. I'm supposed to be the pinnacle of evolution, and you're telling me I don't have any power over this?
Wait, I'm sorry. Who
said
that?
That's the presumption that I was going through.
So do you
that
think
was the presumption that I was going through when I was younger? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No,
yeah, I
man,
told you I used to study Taoism and stuff like that. So
okay.
I have a quick. No, you're totally fine. This has been a great conversation. I just do have a question though. Is everything that you don't understand, that you're saying there's no other explanation that you can fathom? Does everything that you can't fathom fall to God to you? Like, is that if you can't explain it or you don't understand it, that means it must be God?
Partially. It's a partial thing. It's not one or the other, yeah.
Okay, so like throughout history, there have been loads of things that humans cannot explain at any given time.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. But throughout time, there are many of those things that we have been able to explain by natural process. We understand more now than we used to understand. Would you agree that that's accurate?
Yes.
Okay, so like we know that thunder and lightning doesn't come from a deity. We know how weather works, those kinds of things, right? We know how the ocean works mostly. So like there are a lot of things that we couldn't explain that we can. So don't you think it's possible that there are things that we can't explain now that do have natural explanations? We just don't currently know what those are.
Yeah, I can reconcile with that.
Okay, so things that you may
Actually,
not
hold to
be able
that.
to explain now might not be God. That's what you're attributing to because you need an answer. You know, humans are like that. A lot of humans
Yeah.
need answers, and I get that. But it's okay to also not know, and it doesn't necessarily mean God.
And that's a fair critique, honestly. I honestly like, yes, I agree with what a lot of what you're saying. Still, I would still posit like if there is for me, I already posited that there was a higher mind to begin with or a higher existence of order. So it does make sense that I would actually move into something that defines this. So like there is that factor. I understand. Though where you're coming from, I just don't remove God entirely. Like I will say, like there are certain things that are definitely explainable by nature and science that we can observe and write down. Sure, 100%. Everything I don't really see that unless we have eternity, and that's a whole different story. If we don't destroy ourselves with the wars, which is fun.
I'd love to quickly jump in there, brother. I've been listening for
Yeah,
a
I
while.
was just about to say, please do, Zach. I've been waiting for a
Awesome.
minute.
Yeah, I'm Zach, by the way. Nice to meet you, man. I've been listening for a
Hi,
while.
Zach.
Great.
I'm gonna hop down. Thanks for having me.
Brad Gandalf, man. Thank you for
God bless. Good luck at work.
Thank you. Thanks, Zach. Yeah, I'll take it easy.
It's been cool hearing you. It's been cool hearing you. Yeah, man. And by the way, thank you for your service and thank you for your honesty with everything that you've been going through and all of this. I think I'm with you on what you were just saying, that you don't want to rule a higher power out. You don't want to rule a God out. And I think that's a really honest place to be, because I don't know that it can be disproven, as well as I don't think that it can be proven, right? So what interested me earlier, because the conversation was, we were about NDEs, and before that we were defining Christianity and all of that. I've been listening, popping in and out for the last hour. And what strikes me is, why would we assume that anything from the Bible is true in regard to this potential God, right? So that is the question, I think, and that is really pertinent, I think, to where Ape's expertise is, and what we talk about a lot on this channel is what about the Bible lends itself to being credible in your view?
Me and the sister kind of like went through this a little bit. It's yeah, we did. Yeah, so I actually view what is historically said as true, and that these people knew Jesus, knew what he was saying, and recorded it. I want to use faithfully here, but truthfully.
Yeah. So I'm with
Yeah.
you. I did for my whole life as well, and I went to try to prove that, because I would get in debates with guys like this right here all the time, and as I cast myself on honest examination of the text, I was surprised at how little evidence there is to support the historical claims made, particularly in the gospel narratives, but all throughout the scripture, actually. So I'm curious what you mean by that it is historically reliable, or what gives you the confidence that it is. You said you believe it. So is it just that you believe it, or do you have good reason to believe it?
So there are, I think it's repeated 3 times. Twice by Paul, once by Peter. If the crucifixion didn't happen, our religion is vain.
Right.
Faith is vain.
Right.
So like, that's one of those things that points to me, well, why would somebody who's so devout and say that this is, true, but a lot of people are saying it isn't, point to the idea, well, if this did not happen, okay, so did it happen? When I look into history, did it actually happen?
Right. So
did the crucifixion of Jesus Christ happen? Almost everything that I found so far, including from even secular atheists, like, yes, the crucifixion did happen. Whether or not the resurrection happened is another thing that can be argued. But did the crucifixion happen? Is that a historical event?
Right. So what historical evidence have you found to support that? Because I haven't, just so you know, in my scholarly.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't.
Same.
Yeah, me neither.
Wait,
and
have you?
I went to grad school for it. I was in textual criticism, and I went to go prove the crucifixion, to go prove the historical claims. And I really believe the apologists will say that it's historically reliable. And I'm very well aware of the arguments that you probably are talking about. I could probably argue them well for you, actually. And
Wonderful.
unfortunately, they're deeply fallacious because they're based on either exaggerations or, in some cases, all-out lies. So it depends on what you're talking about, which is why I'm asking you specifically, because there are many.
To give you an example, then Bart Ehrman, right? Why for him?
So
He's an atheist, right?
Do you believe in Bart Ehrman's conclusions?
Okay, so I'm giving as an example. You were looking for like an example of
Evidence. He was
something
looking for
that I've been
evidence, not a
researching for,
person.
right?
So I'm looking for the specific things that he says and grapples with. I'm very familiar with Bart Ehrman. I actually loved Bart Ehrman.
Okay, so what he says about the crucifixion and what he says about the crucifixion.
So this is the token atheist that Christians like to quote. Bart Ehrman is very clear about the fact that
I'm not trying to I'm just trying to pull some things, but like you asked me the question, brother.
Yeah, I'm responding. So Bart, so you haven't brought up a specific thing though, but you brought up a person, and I'll tell you what I think about that. Bart, couple things. Number one, what he talks about when it comes to the historicity of Christ is very scant evidence that he even did and said the things that the New Testament claims he did and said. In fact, he would say he probably didn't exist in the way that the New Testament claims that he existed, particularly with the miraculous claims, but even many of the places and things that it says that he did and said. Now, Bart holds to a particular kind of scholarship where he's employed by Christian university. He's in the circles with Christians, and so he has to hold a certain positions to continue to have the position that he does. I actually know someone who knows him personally, and he's going to be retiring soon. And when he does, there's rumors that he's going to be releasing a book that talks about the fact that there's probably not good evidence that Jesus even existed at all. So wait for that to come out. But
I'll be reading that.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Holy shit!
But here's the thing: when you quote somebody like Bart, you don't realize that you're giving credibility to somebody who gives lots of reasons to disbelieve the claims made about Jesus in the New Testament. So that's not a really good person for a Christian to quote. So you're just trying to use him to say, well, he says that the crucifixion happened in history. Crucifixions happened in history, but the things that are claimed about Jesus in the New Testament documents are not historically reliable, and Bart would say that. So that's not a really good person to quote. So really what I'm asking you is, you said that you did research on historical evidence to support the crucifixion and the things that happened to Jesus in the New Testament. I haven't found anything in historic, like we're talking about contemporary writers, historians writing about anything to confirm the events claimed in the New Testament. So you said that you found some. I'm curious what those are. Maybe you misspoke. Maybe you didn't realize what I was asking when I said that.
Is there?
Did you say a tree?
The last part?
I said maybe you misspoke, or maybe you didn't understand what I was asking. Well, I'm just giving, like, in case you didn't actually, in fact, find those. Did I mishear you, or you did find some historical evidence? I'm sorry. I was just in case I misunderstood you.
Oh, I was saying so. Yeah, no, I was being asked. Yeah, no, so I was being asked, like what the reasoning was, and then I was just like, so I responded with the faith thing, right? With them saying that if the crucifixion didn't happen.
Well, no. You told me.
Yo, okay. I think I'm lagging, brother. Okay. Is that me or?
Maybe you might be. You there?
I'm gonna try to answer as best as possible. I'm gonna try to answer as best as possible with the limitation. With the historical stuff that I looked at so far, either having to look into the first century, right? Because I obviously this is what we're talking about, and every single time I look at the first century and I keep thinking about Rome, and then I'm like, well, what did Rome really care for this, and what did the Israelites back then actually do historically, right? That's not specifically in the Gospels. So started looking into Pontius Pilate, looking into some of the kings, looking into all these people who exist within history, right? They all exist within history.
Sure.
I'm like, okay, so if they're real, all right, so what else is real, right? What's not all? So Pontius Pilate, who else?
Can you hear me right now? Can you hear me? I want to make sure you can hear me.
Yeah, there's a lag. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. So there are people who existed in history who are mentioned in the Gospels. There are places that existed in history that are mentioned in the Gospels. There are also people who we don't have evidence for mentioned in the Gospels. There are places that we don't have evidence for that they say they existed that are mentioned in the Gospels. Like Nazareth was not a place in the early first century. It wasn't a place until the late first century, which just shows when the Gospels were written. They were written later, of course. So there's a genre called historical fiction. It's where you take things that actually did occur in history, or people or place names that occurred in history, and you write a narrative around that. So you can mention things that do in fact exist in a work of fiction.
Like fake stories about George Washington. George Washington was a real person, but there are loads of fake stories about him. So, I mean, this happens in history.
So the way that we can determine whether those other claims are true or not are with contemporary writers, corroborating evidence, archaeological finds, evidence, statues, busts, coins, letters to and from descendants, lots of witnesses of other writers writing different accounts about it. We can get a good idea of what did or did not occur in history. It's not perfect, but we can get a better idea with those. Unfortunately, when it comes to the events described about Jesus in the Gospels, we have zero.
Oh, like his actions and stuff like that. Yeah, no, that's not what I'm arguing for, though. It's the crucifixion.
I'm including the crucifixion in that.
The crucifixion specifically. Okay, so the crucifixion in of itself, I don't know. It's just like, okay, so we have who lived around that time? Damn. See, I hate that it's so limited because there's two people. Like Josephus was one of the earliest. And then
let's tackle Josephus.
Somebody else wrote freaking.
Let's tackle Josephus. Go ahead.
About the crucifixion?
He doesn't talk about the crucifixion.
Does he not talk about the Jesus?
He doesn't talk about Jesus at all. There's one passage called the Testimonium Flavianum that is an interpolation that mentions Jesus, that's added in the late I think it's actually the 3rd century that it was actually added. I get this one wrong. Tacitus might be the later one. Josephus, it might be the late 2nd century that it was added. This has been confirmed. So we don't have any mention of Jesus by Josephus. The only other possible place in Antiquities of the Jews, which is the Josephus text, would be a little bit later when he talks about Jesus, the brother of James. But just at the end of that passage, it says that it's Jesus, the son of Damnius. So it's a different person named Jesus who also had a brother named James that certain early church fathers tried to attribute to Jesus of Nazareth, which it certainly isn't. So those are the only two.
Do you have videos on this?
What's that?
I'm sorry. Do you? I know there's a lag. I'm sorry. Do you have I didn't mean to cut you off. Do you have because there's certain people who I've been watching so far, and books that I've read. Damn, the names are. I'm not even gonna try and attempt to remember the names. But I would like to read some of what you're like, some of the sources you're talking about, because I haven't.
So
I
there
don't
are
think I've gone
many.
through that one.
There are many, but you know who really does a great job of this is Jaron Wingo, Christ Before Jesus. He wrote a book called Christ Before Jesus that
There are
really tackles these particular
there are
issues.
but there are actually peer review books that are better to
Yeah,
read than
sure.
that by scholars. Jaron is not a scholar.
No.
So that yeah, there's definitely better people to look into this about.
Jaron just really does a good job of collecting.
Well, I'm following. Y'all can.
I just disagree with that. I'm so sorry,
You don't
Jaron.
think he does a good job of collecting the?
No, I don't. No, I don't. No.
What I just mean, like all in one place, you can look at Josephus and the issues with the interpolated sections of Josephus, and then the same thing with Tacitus.
Not if it has anything to do with the stylometric program that he uses, because there are significant problems with that. So I would just suggest going to somebody who is a little more reputable.
Yeah, go to scholars and you can look at absolutely. Go to Nina
That's all
Lucy
I'm
and
just
look
saying.
at the person of Paul. Yeah, there's plenty of scholarship to look at for sure. I just think that's a simple place to go. It's
Have you guys?
I like Jaron. I find stuff.
Have you guys read Dr. Joshua's book?
Yes.
Josh Bowens. Yeah.
Which one?
Okay, I would like to. Yeah, I'll probably. I don't know how many he wrote. This is the first. I came in here and I was just like, cool.
Well, yeah. So Josh has a Learn the Hebrew book. He's got an Atheist Hand Guide to the Old Testament book, Volume 1 and Volume 2, and then he's got a Does the Bible Condone Slavery book.
If you want a cursory look into the Jesus stuff, you could. A really easy book you can start with is Jesus from Outer Space. You could do Questioning the Historicity of Jesus by Raphael Lataster. On the Historicity, Obsolete Paradigm by Richard Carrier is a good one. So if you like audiobooks, Jesus from they all except for Obsolete Paradigm have audiobooks.
I've actually not read Jesus from Outer Space. So let me check that out.
If you like audiobooks, you should get Jesus from Outer Space. I voiced the audiobook for that. So
I was about to say I've been known to be a part of the audiobook.
Yeah. So I did the audiobook for JFOS. We are currently working the audiobook for Obsolete Paradigm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fun.
All right. Well, God bless. It's nice speaking to you guys. I'll be around. Regardless. Thank you for the conversation.
Yeah, back at you, buddy. We appreciate you coming up. Here, I got you.
Casey, it's good to meet you. I don't think we've ever met before.
You too. Yeah, I was just talking to John about you.
What's that?
Yeah, it's good to meet you too. It's good to meet you too. I was just talking to John about you because I was like, "Hey, I like this guy. I like the stuff he's saying." And I was like, "Do you know this guy?" And he was like, "Yeah." It's so hard for me to keep up with everybody in the community.
Oh, there's so many. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, John who? I'm sorry.
Godless Engineer.
Oh, Godless Engineer. I love. Oh, dude, love.
He's
that.
my husband. He's sitting right here. Yeah.
He's here
love
too.
you guys. Man.
I think he is anyway.
Hey,
Zach, bro. How are you? It's good to hear you, man.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
too.
realize that. That's so awesome, man. That's so great. Yeah, early on, dude, you and I talked about right when I first. It's funny that Jaron came up because you and I were talking about that, and it was helpful to like. Because as soon as I met Jaron, I was like, "Oh, dude, this stuff's so compelling," and I just didn't really question it at first. And then it was like, "Okay, cool. Like, I want to have a really well-rounded view of when it comes to mythicism, because mythicism is fairly new to me. It all came about for me because of me submitting myself to the text and trying to determine what was real, and then just doing scholarly work with the New Testament and realizing there's so many gaps that we have just even in our knowledge that apologists that I grew up around would just insist were true and insist all archaeology agrees with, for instance, or all history agrees with. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's such a lie. And so it was just compelling to me when I first met Jaron. Jaron's a friend, that we got on there. But I know you had Carrier on recently, didn't you?
Yeah.
Dude, do you have that recorded? I didn't get to be there for it, and I really want to hear it.
Oh yeah, it's on my YouTube channel.
Awesome, dude. I'm gonna go check that.
It's on my YouTube channel, and it's actually better formatted on the YouTube channel because it's not the vertical or whatnot. But yeah, I got that there. I mean, that was really kind of like the other book author Peter wanted to have a stream with Carrier and kind of talk about that connecting tissue of like, presenting a plausible story that's alternate to the gospel stories, and so that's what that was kind of about.
Lady Marie, yes, Godless Engineer on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Well, dude, that is so awesome. What's that?
Well, and I was just gonna say, so I've recently taken to heart what Jaron says about his work, and I'm not trying to like smack talk Jaron behind his back or anything. I'm just trying to explain, like, I guess our position on why we're not convinced by his position. And I think that he's probably got better standing on analyzing like the works of Tacitus or Josephus because he has like a lot of material to work from. But like the main, like I guess the main conclusion that he comes to in his book, the first issue that I had is that we don't actually have Marcion's words.
Yeah.
And we don't have enough of Marcion's like supposed words to actually make any kind of authorship determination, because it takes between 2,500 and 5,000 like words to be fed in order to make that kind of conclusion.
Right.
Well, and also since he does it chapter or book by book, or he does it chapter by chapter, the assessment. And since you need so many words to actually usefully assess, and he goes chapter by chapter, there's 300 words, 372 on average words per chapter. So there's not nearly enough words per chapter for the software to actually work in with any kind of fidelity.
Got it.
And so that's my biggest problem. I have nothing personal against Jaron. Like I know you said you're friends. It is not a personal thing. I have a lot of concerns with the work, the software. Too much is unexplained. The issues with the Greek that's a problem. So there are just a lot of issues that I think really need to be worked out and explained, how it works. There's a lot of graphics that don't even have metrics, so you don't even know what they're showing. I just have a lot of issues. That's all. I just don't think that is valuable work to go to at this point. It could use a lot of work.
I would want to look even closer at that. I can't remember exactly what he said about why he ended up breaking it down on the chapter level, but when I read the book, I found his reasoning behind that compelling.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can remember. So I can't defend what you're saying, but to me, based on the different ways that he ended up breaking it down and then deciding to do it that way seemed compelling to me. Like it was enough. But right. What you're saying sounds right, but I'm not a data scientist, so I don't really know.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, do you know Dr. Aaron Adair?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, he works professionally as a data scientist, and I made sure that like the issues that I was having were like legitimate issues, and it's like the main stumbling block for me, even if we had enough like to actually run the stylometric analysis on, is that we're working off of paraphrases, partial attributions, and supposed citations from Tertullian that's written in Latin and then back translated into Greek, which is then reconstructed into a supposed like the the Evangelon, right? That Marcion wrote.
So I don't really actually know much about, even though text criticism was a focus of mine. Of course, we didn't talk about Marcion at all in my seminary training. So I'm not aware of what we have and don't have as it pertains to Marcion. So it sounds like all we have are reconstructions. Is that what you're saying?
And we have multiple reconstructions at that. Like there's like three main reconstructions of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So we don't actually have something to go on of like, hey, this is a very good, like we do with certain other documents in the New Testament where we have so many manuscript witnesses, we can get a pretty good idea of exactly what not exactly, but very close to what the original would have said. Sounds like we don't have that sort of attestation of Marcion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so we have we do have some direct citations from Tertullian, but of course that means that you're trusting Tertullian to be faithfully like citing like what Marcion said instead of like editorializing it. There's that, but also I think for a stylometric analysis, it would be very integral to like actually have like the how Marcion wrote instead of how somebody else wrote, because like there's so many entry points for like contamination to happen in that, right?
Okay. Well, I would love. I mean, you guys know Jaron, right? You've talked to him.
I don't.
Yeah. Well, I do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I would love to hear you guys just like kind of massage this stuff out together. It would be helpful for me.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, just to like really dig into like the whys and everything. I don't think that it would need to get like heated or anything, but like just to hear. I love hearing objections raised to something that's resonating with. Jaron's work is really resonating with me personally, and it's helped me in my deconstruction deeply. So, but I question everything, dude. I'm a skeptic. I want to believe as many true things as possible, disbelieve as many false things as possible. So I'm always skeptical of my own, like why I'm accepting what I'm accepting, you know? So it's helpful for me to hear people raise objections real time and like go and like massage out, okay, why does this work or doesn't this work? I saw Aaron in the comments say that Badoon had a pretty good reconstruction of Marcion. Does that ring a bell? Is that
that's one of the reconstructions. But like I said, that's one of three, and I think that they used Badoon in order to run their analysis on. But I mean, that's still not Marcion's words. Like you could get content. Like what did Marcion talk about? And I think that you can get that from it. But what I don't think that you can get out of it is how Marcion wrote about it, right? Because there's no way to know like if that's how he actually wrote or if this is like due to some kind of contamination, you know, due to like the mainstream idea is that obviously that Paul wrote in the first century and then Marcion came along and redacted, you know, gospels and redacted all that stuff into something that he wanted, right? So I don't know what disproves that, you know, side of events. Like how do we know that you know how Paul wrote and how the church fathers understood Paul and the existing corpus? How do we know that didn't affect how they wrote, right?
Yeah I guess I'm curious. I'm wrestling with it in my brain now.
No, yeah, that's good. I do want to say that I do have plans to bring this up to Jaron directly, and since it got brought up here, I just thought that I'd further explain like why I have issues with the conclusion, and not to like shit talk Jaron or anything. I'm in the process right now of like collecting all of my thoughts and my positions, and so that I can be secure before I actually challenge it, because I know that Jaron and his book and everything are integral to the community at large, and so I don't want it to be like me taking a shit on them or anything like that.
And anytime you try to criticize it, his fans are like super toxic about it a lot of times. So it's really difficult to even speak about it.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. We love us some Jaron. I definitely feel like a sense of I get what you're saying. I know why and I certainly don't want to be one of those voices, because again, it's like, hey, if you have a valid concern, like we should think through that together, and we're all on the same side at the end of the day. So like let's not be like the Christian infighting and get together and like come to some conclusions together.
I listen to the both of y'all a lot, and y'all agree on a whole lot of things.
Oh,
at the end of the day, I think. I mean a lot.
I feel like there's just the one like a minor part of the mythicist like position that we kind of disagree on, and it's just the general like how things happened,
right?
Like, kind of thing.
This is a valid concern, though. Like, how can we actually attribute anything to Marcion if we don't have enough of his original work? Like, that's a valid concern, and I would be curious what Jaron's thoughts are on that, and also, you know, if it can be raised in such a way where it's like, hey, like let's think through this together. I know Jaron's always open to changing things that he needs to change if they're off. I've seen him do it. his opinions and his approach has grown. I mean, we're not perfect, we're figuring the shit out, right? So it's like, I think to me, it's an opportunity to sharpen up this whole thing. I think that stellometry can be greatly useful to us. It's been something that's been used for 200 years. And I think that if it can be properly applied and properly used, I think it's helped us with Josephus. I mean, I don't know what you think about that, but I think it's helped us. Yeah.
Sorry. I was just going to say, I was listening to Jaron the other day, and he brought up one of his graphs that showed how Tacitus, like his stuff, can be grouped together as one author, but the one line that is held to be an interpolation is like separate. It's out there different from him, and so like. I think as long as you have enough data and enough, like as much as we can trust source data, I think that it can be useful. Just my one issue so far, amongst a few other things, is just that we don't actually have Marcion's words to do that style analysis on.
So it's mainly Marcion, but then other authors, you feel confident that the stellometry is effective?
Right. Yeah. I think the stellometry can definitely pick that out as long as you have enough data for it. Right.
Got it. So it sounds like the main criticism you have is in regard to Marcion, not necessarily that like stellometry sucks. It's not that. You're saying that to use stellometry, we don't have enough with Marcion and specifically.
Well, we don't have enough with Marcion. We would also have to run like the entirety of the what mainstream considers Paul's original writings. Uh-huh. We'd have to run the entirety of that as opposed to like chapter by chapter, because like chapter by chapter is only about 372 words. And the method, and I want to be specific about this, the method that Jaron used, it requires 2,500 to 5,000 words in order for it to be reliable in determining authorship.
Understand why he wanted to do chapter by chapter, like understand why he chose to do that. But the problem is that with the software and the method, it needs to be more words to have any kind of fidelity.
Do you guys know his defense on why he chose to do a check? Because I just can't remember. Do you remember?
I don't recall what his defense on chapter by chapter is, but I do know that he mentioned the other day that more modern methods have shown that smaller amounts can work. But I mean, my contention there is that those are different methods, and I don't know if he ran those different methods on it. I'd also be interested to see what the stylometric analysis says about the other reconstructions of Marcion. If it comes back the same, showing a consistency there, or if they have different results.
Is there data that he could present to you that you just simply don't have that would give you more confidence in his approach?
I mean, if we actually had Marcion's words and how he wrote, as opposed to like a back translation from Latin of paraphrases and supposed citations, I think that's my main hurdle.
Okay. Well, you definitely got me really curious about that too. I currently have a ridiculous amount of pre-workout screaming through my veins, and I've got to go lift right now. So I gotta go lift, bro. I'm in the parking lot of the gym right now, and I'm like, I gotta go work out. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm so interested in what we're talking about that I stayed on way longer than I meant to. But it's because you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Actually, I did too. I have to go.
Okay. And on that, we out.
But I really wanted to hear. Yeah, it's interesting that got brought up because I know there's a bit of a feud there, I guess. Uh-huh. But I really think if that came together in more of a teamwork fashion, amazing things could really happen here. Because ultimately, I think y'all agree on a lot as far as the mystery cults and stuff. Like that's all same difference, just getting there a different way.
Love it. John, dude, great to hear your voice. Casey, great to meet you. I hope that we can stay more connected and keep talking, guys. I really appreciate you guys have been, John, you've been crucial for me in my deconstruction too, just so you know. Seriously, I'm really grateful for you. You're part of this community. That's awesome. Super helpful for me.
Yeah. I definitely feel, great the fact that we've been able to connect.
Me too, man.
And it was good to meet you. Thank you so much.
You got it. Awesome, guys. All right. Much love, everybody.
Glad we can hook this up.
Yeah, thanks, Abe. You rock, man. Much love, brother.
Of course, I'm the glue that holds the community together, ain't I?
Yes, you are.
Okay, yeah. Totally. It would just fall apart without the ape, I'm sure.
We all come to your lives.
Oh man, I love it. And I appreciate you guys coming to my live too. And we will be back tomorrow, but I have got to get to work right now.
Bye. Have a good day.
Back at you guys. We will catch y'all later. I have no idea who's on We Can Go Raid, but whoever we go raid, tell them the 8 sent you, and that'll be the way it was. Get on it. But anyway, guys, we will catch y'all later. Don't forget, I have a YouTube channel that's also Apostate Ape. I'll put these replays on there. Throw a play us some help there and shoot me a subscription over on the YouTube as well if you don't care. But other than that, we'll catch y'all all later. Peace out, guys. Peace and